Stop, children, what's that sound? It's the motherfucking Three Dudes Podcast.
That didn't go that well, did it?
There's something happening here.
Today we've got another guest. She's my girlfriend, and she's got nice breasts.
That's great.
Oh, thanks, baby.
That's a good way to introduce her. We'll go with that.
There's a man with a gun over there.
Jesus, what the fuck?
I'm just kidding, there's no man over there.
I like to play lots of jokes on you guys. There was never any man, I made it up.
Welcome to the Three Dudes Podcast.
Mixing it up.
This is like a really weird opener, huh?
Keeping it lively. Keeping it lively here.
For what it's worth, I think we did okay.
You pun master, you.
Our guest today is my beautiful Italian girlfriend, Aubrey.
Yeah! Baby,
How about that? So we're getting culturally diverse in this mother.
We should start by asking, what's a motto you? Nothing?
Nothing.
That's good?
I was gonna say it could be more culturally diverse that I'm Native American because Italian is just...
We can play that up, too.
Yeah,
You go
yeah.
for the whole
Fucking
spectrum.
yeah.
I'm sorry. How?
No, there's not.
We were joined today by Luigi Running Wolf.
Oh my God.
So anyway, what is the matter us? What's the matter in the world? Why are we so fucked?
Yeah, we are fucked, aren't we?
We are fucked. You seem like you have a.
Yes. We're fucked because people in public places can't control their bodily functions.
That is the truth.
So we had an entire episode kind of dedicated to this already, like the retail nightmares thing. I had some nasty bitch on my job the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about this.
I had some nasty bitch, like, walk through my department, cupping vomit in her hands.
Why?
And she just puked on my floor. This bitch just puked on my floor. She made the effort up front to ask where the bathroom was, and then just puked on my floor, and then carried the rest of it in her hands, and like dropped it into the garbage can.
Well, that was thoughtful of her.
Puked more in my garbage can, and then went into the bathroom and made a mess in the bathroom. And then, as if that wasn't enough.
Was she drunk?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she was just being an asshole.
No, she just likes to
She
puke
left.
places.
Didn't tell anybody, which she didn't have to because we all saw it. She left the bathroom and then went and bought a cell phone. Sat there and activated a cell phone while we had to clean it. I didn't clean it up.
I was saying, that's the real question. Did you clean it up?
Absolutely not.
Because I have cleaned up strangers' vomit
I don't
in retail.
I made an effort when I got hired at any job that I do.
You did this at Mark's, too.
Yes, I did. I made the effort at the interview to say, hey, I don't do bathrooms and I don't do cleanups because unless I make,
I'm just
unless
better
I
than
make,
you guys.
right, exactly. Well, like, no,
because fuck you.
No, right, because fuck all of you. No, I don't do that. Like, especially if it's puke.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have another cleanup on your hands. I can't do that. I'm a sympathy puker. Like, it's I see it happening.
No, I understand.
That's
When I worked at Walmart and I had to clean up puke, it was because 6 other people would not do it. I said,
Right.
you know what? I'll just do it.
Yeah, someo's got to get that
It's
puke
got to
out
get
of there.
done.
Yeah.
It's got to get done.
It can't still be puke tomorrow.
No, we don't want the crusty puke. I've also cleaned up puke in parking lots because when I worked at Toys R Us, next door was BW3's.
Yep.
I came to work one morning, there was seagulls having a massive feast, and I went, fuck me.
Eight tall beers and a trip to the Lego aisle.
Yeah, exactly.
I just picture them gulls putting their bibs on going, the Lord has smiled upon us, boys.
They sure fucking did.
A bountiful feast of puke awaits us. Let us pray.
God,
Jesus. Amen.
they really are just flying raccoons,
Yes,
aren't
they
they?
are.
Oh, they are.
Yes, they are.
Nasty things.
But no, yeah, this bitch like walked from the front of the store like calmly, and then puked in the aisle, and then puked some more in her hands. Like, here's what pisses me off: is she didn't make the effort to catch it the first time. She was just like on the floor. So there's like, and here's the thing: like, rather than have like little specks of oatmeal barf all over the floor.
Oatmeal?
Yeah.
You could tell it was oatmeal?
It was almost definitely oatmeal.
Some flaked, were they flaked or rolled oats? Could you tell?
I couldn't tell. I didn't get close enough.
Steel cut, maybe?
They smelled like steel cut.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good question. Good question.
I'm actually getting a little barfy thinking about that. So yeah. Oh God! I need to,
and everyone just turned it
yeah,
off.
I need to drink some beer to keep this down.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I declare we are fucked because of fake news.
Oh boy.
Fake news.
Fake news, and not Donald Trump's fake news, which more often than not is just anything that's critical of him personally.
I saw you do this the other day.
Yeah, this was something I was watching Salty Bet.
Yeah.
Which I have recommended in the past.
Yes.
And a user there put forth the let everyone know that California is he says oh my God, California is going to pass a bill that's going to make it illegal. It's going to make you can be thrown in jail in California for referring to a person by the wrong gender pronoun. And
so your skeptical eyebrow should go up and say, huh?
Yeah, this immediately.
That's it.
Now
inside jokes.
Now this immediately, of course, sounds like bullshit. So I asked him, "Where did you hear this?" And he says TV. I'm like, okay, dumbass, where on TV?
The TV told me. They told me.
And he named a news outlet. I'm not gonna say what it is here, but I can tell you that it rhymes.
Does it rhyme with Cox News?
It does. So.
Wait, that's not the name of it already?
Cox News? No, that's a separate network.
Oh, okay.
It's just news about dicks.
That's where Bill O'Reilly is now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Ultimately, it all ends in Cox.
Yeah, it all ends in Cox.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I did a 2-minute Google search, typing California pronouns bill. Mm-hmm. Every single headline referring to this was from something like the Christian Broadcast Network or Breitbart.
Yeah.
And so then I happened upon the actual text of the bill in question from the California government's official website. So I went and I looked, and I read it. What it says is it provides a procedure. It lays the groundwork for a procedure where a transgendered person can retroactively have legal documents changed to reflect their gender identity,
Correct.
like birth certificate, court records, things like that. And the court is beholden to acknowledge it retroactively and in the future.
That's interesting.
That's fucking interesting, man.
Yeah. So it's California being the liberal,
insanely liberal state it is, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I want to live in California.
They're pretty.
They're pretty fucking liberal.
The land of fruits and nuts. That's what
Oh yeah, I've been to San Francisco a lot of times.
being the state that it is. Yeah, it's a bill that makes sense, and it again it basically makes it so that the court is obligated. Bureaucracy. You got to do paperwork and everything, and then when it's approved, everything will retroactively be changed.
Sure.
To your gender identity. Nowhere in there does it say you can be jailed for referring to someone by the wrong pronoun.
No. Yeah, but that's the kind of the
not.
clickbaity title that those people want you to believe in.
Yeah, it's not even like a misrepresentation of the truth. It's a straight up lie.
Yeah.
It is 100% false.
There is, it sounds so goddamn crazy to say it out loud, but there is such thing as an information war.
Yeah.
It's an actual thing now.
Right.
Infowars are
Alex
real
Jones
thing.
was right.
Yeah, it just so happens he's part of the bullshit.
They're
part
turning
of
the
it.
friggin' frogs.
He's just not right about the right things.
Yeah, right.
Friggin' frogs gay!
Yeah, that's actually tomorrow. The podcast I'm recording with Quizzy Gessenport.
Yes.
It's centered around turning the frogs gay.
Ooh.
Yeah, and when
I
we
have to listen to your podcast.
we haven't
by
got
the
it
way.
published yet, but when we do, I will make sure to mention it on the show.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
At least for some of those odd topics like that.
Yes.
Yeah, so, you shouldn't believe, to quote Network, television isn't the truth. Television is a goddamn amusement park.
Yeah, for real.
You should be critically thinking about these sorts of things. If you're, there was a classic example was a video on Facebook of a classic example of my point.
Yeah.
is a video on Facebook that gave it another example of a news story that says a town in Sweden banned Christmas lights because they might offend Muslims. and it shows two different courses of action. One person getting outraged and being like, "Ah, yeah, fucking Muslims," and one person on the other side going, "This sounds weird. And it turns out they reduced the number of Christmas lights because they were interfering with traffic signals.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, that's actually logical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, what it's really about is, I don't want to let me celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
More on Christmas!
Fucking Starbucks! They're red cups with just white deer on
They're
them.
red Christian hating cups.
I've been getting back into Facebook lately, and I think when winter comes around, I wanna start running my presidential campaign again, and bring back my war on Christmas.
Yeah.
Winter has come.
I was gonna say, from what I hear, winter's here.
I don't know if you guys know, winter is here.
Winter is
Winter's
almost
here.
definitely
Yeah,
here.
I think it's here. But okay, but do that though. That
Yeah.
sounds like a good plan.
Anti-Christian ideals and incest are going to reign supreme.
Oh boy.
All over your televisions.
Santa Claus. Are we still talking about Game of Thrones?
I don't know, but now I'm thinking about the Santa Claus.
Well, okay, so
The
Santa.
movie or the man?
Yeah, Tim Allen.
So
The Santa Claus.
Santa Claus owns slaves. Like, let's not beat around the
Yeah.
bush. Elves are slave labor.
Little tiny slaves.
Elves are slave labor. They live and work in this compound
Yes.
for 364 days of the year.
Well, there is escape. They can dodge.
Not only that, in some stories, Santa is an elf.
What?
So yeah, if you've
Oh,
never
he's
heard,
the jolly
in
old elf, after
Yeah,
all.
it's in the older stories. He is
Right.
an elf as well.
Which means
So he is enslaving his own kind.
Yeah. Wow.
Back when he
Yeah.
was known as Schinterklusten.
Sorry, did I snort on you?
I don't know.
It was a big old snort.
He has also appointed himself judge, jury, and coal-giver for children around the world.
Tyranny, I say. Tyranny.
Fuck Santa Claus.
Wherever the North is.
His tyranny, his oppression is going to end, and President Slam is going to be the one to bring it about with
That's right.
Tomahawk missiles.
Naughty
and
children rebel.
A-10 warthogs.
Hashtag blessed.
I have a reason we're fucked, but unless you would like to go first, Aubrey.
No, I'm fine.
Mine is pretty simple. I'm pissed off. It starts off with a picture of a tiny red chili.
One picture of a tiny red chili.
In a world where there's a
In a
picture
world.
of a chili. It makes me mad.
The spice. You have a drumstick.
drumstick
and your brain
Brain
starts
starts
sticking.
sticking.
Yes, man.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, wait. What do you mean Cantonese isn't Chinese?
It is Chinese. Yeah, I realized that
It's
after
from
I said
Canton,
it.
Ohio.
It's from Canton.
In Ohio, you dumb.
I had the
fuck.
Canton chicken.
Yeah.
That's what I did wrong.
It's black squirrel. That's all it is.
Yeah, Canton chicken is just roadkill. So I got this because I thought that sounds good. I looked at pictures on the internet. Cantonese chicken looks great. Mm-hmm. It had the little chili bite, so I go, okay, this is gonna be a little spicy guy.
Yeah.
I like a little mwah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like a little bit. A little bit. Oh, give me a little chili.
Get the Cantonese chicken, not spicy.
That's bullshit.
And I'm upset because this happens all the goddamn time.
You know what? I have a theory about this. Because I've had this happen too. And I think it's that, like, Cantonese and Szechuan cooking are notoriously spicy around China and Japan.
Yes.
Yes.
And I feel like the average Chinese restaurant entrepreneur can't handle that kind of spice.
And they're probably right.
Because we can't.
Yeah. No, that's probably right. I mean,
No,
like,
that's a thing. That's definitely, especially a white person thing,
You're-
from what I hear.
Your average suburban
I'm
white...
Italian. I can eat spicy things.
Your average suburban white mom goes in and would probably order that same dish and be like, oh my
And
goodness.
by suburban white mom, my mom.
Oh, me so sorry. I need to send you this back.
All right, she wouldn't do that.
Please, no lawsuit. And like that must be what it is, right?
yeah,
Like
I do think that's like Thai dishes. Their pad Thai goes from a scale of 1 to 5, but what they don't tell you is about the secret menu, which is Thai hot, which is level 6, and they even go up to triple Thai hot, which is level 8.
for that you need to get your e-meter reading. You need to
You need several consultations.
East side a waiver.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They do like they hook your head up to electrodes and they just force feed you like pepper pills to see what happens. But yeah, no. So I think maybe this is the silver lining of this. If I order that same dish and I'd say I'd like that Cantonese hot as Cantonese dishes should be.
Yeah.
Make it genuinely hot. Maybe this wouldn't have been a problem.
Sure.
Us with almost no discernible heat to it at all.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
pissed me off. So don't lump me in. That's why we're fucked. Don't lump me in with the rest of the other white boys who don't know how to eat hot stuff.
That's right.
I want to be treated like a Cantonese boy instead.
I like.
you want to work at a Nike factory.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that's it. That's why we're fucked. Make me hotter food, please. I'm done with it.
Why we're fucked? My why we're fucked is kind of like very specific to me. I don't know if
That's good.
anybody that's going to listen is going to understand this shit.
Why you're fucked is fine.
But why I am fucked is fandoms.
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 Oh,
There's so many.
I understand.
Okay, good. I'm glad
Immediately.
somebody understands because last few years, because of the internet and a lot of things happen because of the
Internet.
fucking internet.
Yeah.
Welcome to the internet.
Okay, so here's my story.
Okay.
The Video Music Awards, MTV's Video Music Awards, were
That's
on
right.
Sunday. And the fandom I am, where you've been the last 16 years, Jesus Christ. I mean, they're not
kind of-
that popular, but for fuck's sake, come
kind
on.
of a big fucking name.
Yeah.
Even I want to fuck Pete Wentz.
I kissed Pete Wentz.
Did you really?
I
Yeah, she
absolutely-
smooched him right on the cheek.
Right on the cheek.
Story time.
Absolutely. I met them.
Yeah.
I paid $120, which is cheap as fuck, by the way,
Uh-huh.
to meet 4 celebrities.
That's pretty
and,
good.
You get to pick a pose, and I was like, hey, can I pretend to kiss your cheek? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay. And then ballsy ass me like an idiot, because I know he, has a gorgeous model girlfriend. I mean, like, she's
Sure.
literally a model.
Yeah.
She has the best butt in the world. She's
Oh
beautiful.
boy, we gotta Google this. Hashtag
She's-
Google that butt.
She's gorgeous. Megan Camper. Google her. She's beautiful.
Hashtag Wentz wife.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I actually kiss your cheek? And he's like, yeah, of course. I'm like, okay. So I put my arms around him. I went to like kiss his cheek. The photographer took a picture. I was like, no.
I gotta get the kiss.
Yeah, wait.
One more time, please.
And he, and I kissed his cheek, and I have
Boom.
a picture of it for posterity.
I want to see that picture.
Who is it like off to the side just squeeze? Is that Patrick?
That's Patrick. The,
Okay.
Oh,
the
wait, I
lead
have seen
singer
that.
is off to the side. I asked the rest of the band to just look really excited and like lovingly at Pete, and because he was always my favorite, because he was the very emo one, and I was goth in high school. So, but anyway, so they were up for an award for a new video for a new song called "Young and Menace."
It's pretty trippy.
Also, yeah, it's weird.
Nice.
Also, look that up. They didn't win.
Oh,
Another band I like called 21 Pilots won.
okay. How do they all fit in that plane?
They're all about in the
cockpit. Like they
Too many pilots spoil the navigation
Too
system.
many pilots. Too many pilots.
Too many pilots.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I love my fandom and I hate my fandom.
Okay.
I do think Fall Out Boy should have won because 21 Pilots' song is about 2 years old. The video's older-ish.
Yeah.
And Fall Out Boy's this is brand new music, hasn't even been released yet. But
Oh, shoot.
Oh, God.
Dog is flipping out.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Well, don't egg him on.
Yeah, right?
But, fucking Boba.
I know. He'll chill out. I don't know what he thinks he's seeing.
No, probably nothing.
Shoot him.
But immediately afterwards, I started hearing stuff on Instagram because I run a fan account for Fall Out Boy. And I started hearing that people in my fandom are sending death threats to the 21 Pilots fandom.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Come on!
You know what? People take things real seriously no matter what it is.
Yes, and that was what my point is. All fandoms are like this now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's books, it's movies, whatever. It's Team Jacob, Team Edward. I know that's a little old, but it's
still a thing.
It's still a thing. It's still in the range of the having the internet where you can say whatever the fuck you want and there's no consequences.
Fucking
for
liberals and or conservatives.
See, knowing what I know about the 4 men in Fall Out Boy, they were probably super stoked for 21 Pilots.
Sure.
And proud of them and.
Yeah, they were part of the reason 21 Pilots is on the map. They took 21 Pilots as their openers in 2013.
Really?
And yeah.
Okay.
And they toured together, and they're good friends and stuff like that. I'm sure they were very happy for them.
Yeah, and even if they weren't, like they seem like good guys who are gracious.
They're
losers.
very good. They're very good people. Because I am one of those fangirls that is obsessed.
Yeah.
And that's where this comes from. And now I don't do the death threat shit. I try to be the mom in the fandom where I'm like, this shit, you need to shut this shit down. I literally posted shut that shit down on Instagram because that needs to stop. This is not our fandom. We don't do this shit. This is not. Grow up. Because a lot of the fandom is young people.
Yeah.
Yep, sure. That's what it is. It's kids.
It is kids because Fall Out Boy took a hiatus in 2009 and didn't come back till 2013. So there's a whole new generation. Like, I listened to them in high school. Now there's a whole generation of high schoolers that are listening to them now.
Right, like new kids who like had no exposure to them before.
Yes.
So it's all like brand new to them.
Yes, and like I said, it's just every fandom is like that. But it's people get obsessive and
on everything.
On everything.
Give them a few years to realize that awards shows don't mean shit.
No, they really see. The only thing about the VMAs is that you vote.
Right, so it is like on some level, and they feel like they lost.
Exactly, and the thing with what 21 Pilots' fandom is called the Clique. The thing with the Clique is, and I have nothing against them because I am also a very big 21 Pilots fan. I saw them in January. It was an awesome show. Mm-hmm. They're very, very, they're just crazy a little bit. They're a little bit crazy. They're very.
Them's fighting words.
They're very compulsive. They're very clingy. I mean, they're called. I feel like they're called a clique for a reason.
Yeah, right.
Like to the point where I don't even want to be considered that. Where I am a very big fan of them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to call myself that because they get really crazy about shit.
It's funny. Like I feel like that's like a standout characteristic of like this year and the year before it is. I'm increasingly unwilling to consider myself a part of all kinds of things because their communities just make the thing look bad.
Exactly. That's like trying to be a feminist. Like it's a bad word now, and it has been for very long. But it's worse and worse.
It's like I hate that because I consider myself a feminist, but I just don't want to. I just don't want to use a label that gets associated with a bunch of bullshit.
Exactly, and just about every label does now. But that is
atheism comes to mind.
Yes, I am also an atheist, and it's hard for me to. I usually just say I'm non-religious to people.
Why we don't talk about it.
That's right.
Yeah, you get these fucking this guy what's his name? Onesian or Onisian or
was he a Skyrim character?
No, he's a YouTuber and he hashtag asshole.
Really?
He recently posted on Twitter a picture of Texas being flooded from this hurricane and saying, how could, if God is real, how can such a thing happen to an overwhelmingly Christian state? Okay. And so But the beautiful thing is,
I hate him, but I hate his point, but he's not wrong.
people are suffering and dying, and now is not the time or place.
Exactly, it's not the time.
But I hate the militant.
Well, it's because that's what
atheism.
the hardcore sort of like Jerry Falwell's will do is New York gets flooded and it's because you were so kind to the gays, New York. Better luck next. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not any better by doing the same thing from an irreligious standpoint.
And the almost all the replies. I saw a video of this. An overwhelming majority of the replies were just a Photoshop of Shrek with a neckbeard and a fedora.
That's the perfect response.
And if you don't think that makes him an asshole, he's also a YouTuber who just went completely private unless you pay.
Oh, that's
one of those.
You motherfucker.
Is that a thing you can do on YouTube?
Yes, it is.
YouTube Red.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yep, YouTube Red.
I didn't realize you could make your show YouTube Red without YouTube's help. Like, you could just go YouTube Red.
I mean, I think you have to contact YouTube.
Yeah.
From the channels I watch that have Red shows.
Yeah.
You do have to get in contact with them, but apparently... and honestly, I think it's because so many people hate him.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And I think it's pronounced Onesian.
Onesian.
Yeah. He's making me nauseous.
He's quiet.
Up top, you know what I'm talking about? Right back to puke.
Yep.
Full circle.
And we come back full circle, which means it's time for a break, I think. Because that's broadcaster logic.
Yeah.
So we, like how a stand-up comic will end his set with something from like the first quarter of the show.
Yeah, it's the callback that signals the end of Act 1.
Yes.
Right. So now we must take our break, and when we come back, a little segment we like to call Sharkin' and Dolphin.
Yes, Shark and Dolph this.
Shark and Dolph Lundgren. Welcome back!
Yay! Oh, there's a nice popping sound now at the beginning of the track.
Yeah.
Like, boop. Boop. It's like we're cracking open the second part of the show.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Three Dudes Podcast and one lovely lady. We are about to start our segment, which is entitled Schmorpin' and Dorpin'.
Yes, sir.
Durbin.
Schmurban Durbin. Tyler Durden.
Slurpin'.
Shaken. Wait.
Twistin' and shoutin'.
Yeah.
I had one earlier and I can't fucking...
Nah, that's alright. We can never think of
We
it.
always forget. I have ideas during the week, and then I'm like, that'll be great.
When we're under the gun, we can never. Yeah.
Yeah.
Polly Shorin.
So I am Sandraing this. Actually, I'm not Sandraing anything. I declined to get a cigar this week.
Going smoke free.
Smoking free.
Smoke free, I'm sorry.
Actually, you guys go ahead. I'm going to go get my real dirt.
Oh, that's right. That dirt.
But I am bullocking a whiskey and Coke. My good friend Ezra Brooks dropped in to pay me a visit.
Ezra's back.
Ezra makes me feel good. He's a
Guess who's back? Back again.
Yeah.
Ezra's back.
tell a friend. Well, no, then they'll drink them all.
Yeah, don't tell anyone. Ezra, keep Ezra on the DL.
Oh, it's too late. I'll drink you all, Ezra.
It's a secret to everyone.
Shh, don't tell my boyfriend.
Ezra, I love you. Don't tell my boyfriend.
Oh, Ezra, oh no, he caught us.
The love between women and whiskey can never be known.
I know you're just a bottle of whiskey, but I love you so much.
Your strong, slender neck.
You're squarish.
Your full bronze body.
The little plopping noise you make at the top.
The way you go really good with Coke.
Strong frame, slender neck, beautiful bronzed body.
It must be an emu.
Okay. I am Schmorpin, an old classic. If you're gonna ever smoke cigars, this is a good place to start. This is a new blend that they did. It's a Blue Label Cohiba. Little shorter, still good. Still tastes like a Cohiba. delicious.
Nice.
I love it. A lot of smoke. Really fucking good.
What exactly is Cohiba? What is it like a?
That's the brand. It's
Yeah, but like, do they
Cohiba.
have any kind of a name for that guy there?
Nope. This is the blue label Cohiba.
All right.
But
All right.
really most Cohibas are just Cohibas, and then the different sizes and wraps of them. They've been around forever. If you know cigars, if you know nothing about cigars, you know Cohiba. Everybody knows them. But classic, a little bit more pricey, but it's a good place to start for anybody who wants to smoke a cigar. And I'm drinking. I had this before on the show. I'm double fisting it tonight. I got my standard Miller Lite out of my Dosh Beardenstein
Dosh Kannenstein.
That's it, Dosh Kannenstein.
Kannenstein.
And I'm drinking Carlo Rossi out of the goddamn jug like an animal.
That's how we do in Youngstown, boy.
Yeah, it's the Paisano red table wine. I already drank most of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutamente.
I drank most of this last night at a housewarming party.
I can't remember if I already mentioned that this is like table wine that's supposed to be poured over pasta.
Yes.
You have said that before,
Yeah.
and I'm still skeptical of this, but I would eat it.
Do you do that in your family? Because my stepdad's family does that.
Do we pour wine over pasta? No.
Well, not all pasta. It's like for certain occasions. It's like angel hair. I think is what you.
I don't cook with wine. Yeah, angel hair is good with wine sauce. I enjoy wine sauce, but I don't cook with it.
Well, no, you don't cook with it. It's like after it's been served, you pass this around the table and you pour.
Oh no, but that sounds amazing.
Like
It's
just like a shot of wine.
Because when you
Italian
cook with
ramen.
when you cook with it, all the alcohol's gone. That sounds
Right?
great.
No, yeah, you just pour like a shot or two of wine.
No,
right
I've
into the pasta.
never heard that. But my Italian family, we never did like the fish at Christmas or anything. We were never like.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I've been to Italy, but we were never like super.
Yeah.
It might be like a Catholic.
Oh no, we were Catholic.
I don't know.
I was definitely baptized Catholic.
But yeah, that's something my stepdad's family
This
does.
is always the wine that I throw in the red lead when I make the sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
God, that sauce was so
Yeah,
incredibly
dude.
good.
Yeah, dude. The red lead, it's real.
I want to make it with you once.
Yes.
I
Oh
wanna
yeah.
watch
If you,
you-
I'll show
I
you
wanna
how
watch
we
you
do
do
it.
it.
I listen. I'm all about that for smoking. Spoiler alert. We might have a specialty episode coming your way soon. Maybe,
We almost definitely do.
maybe for the specialty episode we'll make the red
We
lead.
talked about it, I think, on the show before,
Yeah,
but we'll leave it out for now. We'll talk about it another time. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should do that at some
Yeah,
point. I'll show you how I make
fantastic.
it. It's real easy.
I want to see you do that.
I would like to learn how to make it.
Oh,
because
it's super easy.
The
As
red
an
lead.
Italian, as a failed Italian, I've never made sauce. I've never made sauce.
Can't buy it.
Quasi-Italian.
You buy it when you
Quasi-Italian.
buy sauce
Yeah.
when you're in a pinch. You make it when you want to eat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But Dave, what do you got there, buddy boy?
I am scruffing this fantastic cigar, the My Father cigar. I cannot remember the name of the maker.
My father.
My father's the maker.
My Father, and then it's the 1920.
Yes.
Two,
Hold on. I have it pulled up
Yes.
here.
It's a very good
Specifically for
cigar.
this.
Very
So
nice
this
cigar.
was, I know a little bit about this because I had this last year when it was the big thing. It was 2015's Cigar of the Year. It got a 97 rating.
I gotta say, it is not leaving me disappointed.
Yeah,
No,
My
it's making
Father.
some beautiful smells.
It
it's
smells
real-
fantastic.
It's really
does.
good. That's a Le Bijou 1922 is the cigar.
It's one of those ones
Oh,
that just
yeah.
like goes.
Torpedo box.
You.
Oh, Le Bijou.
Le Bijou.
It's my little Bijou.
It's one of those cigars where the scent just really kind of like just casually strolls its way into your nostrils. It doesn't bash it down with a battering ram. You know?
No, I'll tell you, that is a very strong cigar.
Yes.
We had that one night we got smokes and we sat out on the patio and watched hockey at B-Dubs.
At B-Dubs.
Yeah.
Was this the cigar we got?
This is the cigar I got.
Oh, that's the
So
okay.
you guys like this because I read the review.
You guys
from,
got pussy cigars.
Yeah. Yes. No. What?
Well, someone smoked this. What was it? Last week or the week before?
No.
Didn't we make jokes on the show about my father?
We did. Well, we did, but like I said I was gonna go back and buy the other blend. They just have a new blend that came out.
The Judge.
The Judge. I just bought it. It's
Judge.
upstairs.
Here
So
come
yeah,
the
that's gonna
Judge.
be that's
Here
gonna be
come
my
the
next
Judge.
week. Smoking
Yeah.
and drinking, I think, is the Judge. I'm gonna smoke that one. They said that's very good too.
My
So-
father, the judge.
but yeah, that was Cigar of the Year. I read the review before I bought it, and they said, "Listen, this is not a cigar to smoke if you're not into cigars. Like you gotta really like cigars, and you gotta like be ready to be lightheaded at the end of it because that is an intense smoke."
It's not letting me down.
It gets very powerful.
Because my number one bitch about cigars is that I'm not getting enough cigar character.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. It always sort
That's
of
a
like
real heavy smoke.
Yeah, this is really up my alley. I'm very happy with this one. So that's what I'm scruffing. And I am McGruffin.
I knew it.
That's where it was going.
One of my favorite beers from Bell's Brewery. Bell's, who are so fantastic.
Oh.
And rarely fail at anything.
I know them from their palsy.
I'll wait.
Beat me to it. Fucking beat me to it.
Jesus
That
Christ. The Two-Hearted Ale. It's the one with a fish on it. You've probably seen it. It's a very pretty picture of a fish.
Wow, that's a pretty picture of a
Yeah,
fish.
that's
a fish. He's a fish with two hearts.
Oh my god!
I don't
Is
know.
he the doctor?
It's a Lake Erie fish if I've ever seen it.
The Doctor?
Doctor Who?
Is he the
Nah.
Doctor? Is that a thing?
Yeah, the doctor has two hearts.
Oh no shit!
Yeah,
Oh.
I've never watched Doctor Who. I just have a lot of fangirl friends.
I had no idea that the Doctor had two hearts.
Indeed.
It's called Double Hartlia. It's a big problem.
It actually is a real thing,
Yeah.
but you really survived that bit.
This is one of my favorite beers. I really, really enjoy this. This has won many awards. It continues to be a lot of people's favorite, like year over year. This just wins awards all over the place. So it's basically it's just an IPA with a ton of Centennial hops, which I have made a clone of this beer before that I was pretty happy with. But this is one of my favorite beers in the market. So that's what Scruffin' and McGruffin.
Nice.
All right, nice. I'm not stopping anything because I am not a smoker and I don't know how to smoke. I'll tell you a real quick story.
Oh boy.
The one time I had tobacco, I was at a Native American get-together.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Bringing it full circle, bringing it back to the beginning.
How?
Now, this get-together, I don't remember the actual name of it, but it was like a spiritual thing, and it was actually really cool. Mm-hmm. But
Was there an actual pipe?
Did you smoke?
there was a pipe.
Did you smoke them peace pipe?
I did, actually. In fact, I smoked 'em to peace pipe with a tent full of other naked women.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yes.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Can I do this?
It was basically like where you would like sweat out toxins
Yeah.
and stuff. There was
Like a sweat lodge.
Let's sweat
Yeah.
out some toxins, goddammit.
Unfortunately, women,
I'm ready.
the
Let's
women,
do it. I'm getting
unfortunately,
naked.
the women all together, men all together. That's it. But never,
Well, we'll see if there's some
never
flexibility
smoked in my life. Took a just huge drag like an idiot.
Yeah.
Started choking. My eyes are watering. I'm in this tent where I won't go into detail because it's not proper to, but it's a place where you tell very personal stories. It's a very spiritual connection
Yeah,
thing.
okay.
No more detail than that.
I like
It's not
that.
proper.
I like that idea.
But yeah, like an idiot, like as this very emotional thing is happening, I'm gasping for breath and choking, crying like a moron in front of this lady. It was at a house where I used to go to a Native American healer named Windwalker, and she was an amazing woman. But yeah, that was my only time sharking, and Shorkin.
Shorkin, Native American style.
Shoryuken.
Aaron Shorkin.
Sure. I just realized I'm very drunk already.
Yeah.
Yes!
Yes. Welcome to the show.
Because I realized I started with stopping, and I was gonna say dropping and rolling.
Yeah.
I'm dropping and rolling. Well, first I dropped and rolled an entire bottle of Benihana plum wine, which is
Benny fucking Hanna!
It's usually about 9. It's usually about 9% alcohol by
Yeah.
volume, and I finished that off myself. And now I'm also having my side affair with Mr. Ezra Brooks.
Yes, sir.
Which I put.
I thought you were my friend, Ezra.
You betrayed me.
And then I put quite a bit in, and my boyfriend pointed to the 90 proof on there, and I went, "Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I know." And I have an actual, like, I'm not drinking out of a whiskey glass. I'm drinking out of like just
A Rolling
glass.
Stones glass.
A Rolling Stones
I'm
glass.
about to get 40 licks, if you know what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm dropping and rolling.
That comes later.
Oh God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's gonna be interesting to watch that glass disappear.
Oh yeah. Oh, also there's Dr. Pepper. I didn't use Coke.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper.
Yes. Sorry. I gotta say, I'm getting towards the end of this smoke. I really like this cigar.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. That
Never disappointed when I get one of these.
I should actually.
Yeah, you probably should before that drops on your crotch.
Fold it. There you go.
This reminds me, I just want to mention, I'm going to be doing an experiment on this episode.
Doing it right.
So this is so far I will say, a very enjoyable, very nice cigar. Paid a little bit more for it than I would normally pay for a cigar. But not that much. About $10.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a great smoke for $10.
I am going to be comparing this to a $2 smoke later.
Oh, jeez. So a $2 cigar?
I will mention this as it arrives. I will tell you what it is when we get there, but I just want to make a point of saying this is going to be a comparison between an expensive cigar and a real cheap cigar.
I've had good cheap cigars. You can get cigars from a gas station, like berry-flavored cigars, and it tastes good. So
the cigars over at Golden, the Al Capone cigars.
I don't want to. I'm not going to ruin anything, but once you know the name on this $2 cigar, you might change your mind.
Yeah, right. So anyway, we'll get to that when it arrives.
Yeah,
I won't interrupt anything. I'll find a natural time to segue in.
All right. So today's topic.
Topic.
I thought long and hard about it. I thought of one. Decided it was too. Decided it was a little.
Ayo.
That comes later.
Bring it back around again.
We're talking about dicks, right?
I decided it was too wildly specific. I decided it was maybe a little too specific, so I broadened it a bit to America's favorite pastime. It's a pastime, of course, that has been loved and cherished in America since its inception. It can be enjoyed by rich and poor, white and black, young and old. I'm talking, of course, about crime.
Yes.
Wow, okay. Because it sure as shit ain't baseball.
Yeah, I was going to say, fuck baseball.
No. Crime is definitely the American pastime. We've all committed some form of crime in our life, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
I'm excited already for those.
But I wanted the topic to be about crime, whether it's your best, the best stories that you know about crimes or unsolved mysteries, whether it's times you've committed a crime and gotten away with it. You probably shouldn't mention any that are like pending FBI investigations.
Right. Just check your statute of limitations before you start talking.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like your typical like just I don't know, smoking pot or stealing a candy bar.
Petty theft, yeah.
Yeah. Driving after you've had a few too many.
I have a quick one to warm us up on this one. I have a record now of accidentally stealing things. This has been happening now. The first one in recent memory was going through Rulli Brothers, and I had all what I thought was my whole cart on the belt, and I went and I paid for everything, and I walked out and realized there was a nice log of Bel Gioioso, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
The mozzarella log?
Yeah, the big log.
Nice,
That's
big,
good stuff.
it's like an $8 log of mozzarella I didn't pay for, and I went, oh shit. And I just left.
Yeah.
It was too late. I'm not going to go back in now.
Yeah.
I have it. And, right? So the other time, I went up to Save-A-Lot right around the corner here, and I bought 2 big fat packs of bologna for sandwiches.
Oh,
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and among other things. Went through, came home. Yeah, right,
Condoms.
Just a bunch of bologna and a pack of condoms. For whatever.
Yeah.
And I bought all this stuff and come home and I go, where's my fucking bologna? I was like really pissed off. So I'm like, I don't have my bologna. So I go back and I'm like, did I leave a bag of bologna here? And they go, no, didn't see it. And the woman that works there goes, it's fine, just go ahead and get it. And I go, okay, sorry, I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
I get 2 packs of bologna. I just walk past her, did a little wave, get in my car, come home.
Waving the bologna.
I'm just like
the old bologna wave trick.
All bologna.
Got good tasting meat here.
Yeah. I got this bologna. It's the disabled stepchild.
This disabled stepchild of meat.
Got bologna legs. Got bologna legs.
Got bologna
legs.
So we were all in a different key there. I don't know what was happening.
I thought we harmonized
It
it.
was all right.
At the end, we picked it up.
Got bologna.
So I bring the bologna home. I put the bologna in the fridge. I forget about it. About an hour later, Christy opens the freezer and goes, there's bologna in the freezer? And I went, no. So apparently I just put it in the freezer without thinking, which is not the right place for the bologna.
What the fuck?
No, you don't put bologna in the freezer.
But now I have.
You eat that bologna.
They say Drog is.
Make it shittier.
They say Drog is still at large. Anyone with any information should call 1-800-529-931059287431217.
Bologna.
Or bologna.
So now the end of this story is just that I have 4 giant packs of jumbo bologna, and I didn't take them back.
No, why would you do that?
That would be admitting failure a second time.
I mean, they gave it to you. It's not like
That's all right.
purposely stole it. You legitimately thought you didn't have it.
Yeah.
And they were nice enough to say, just take it.
Yeah.
Fucking bologna is cheap. And they didn't give a shit. Bologna's cheap
I
as
wasn't
fuck.
trying to be crooked. They knew.
Also, it's bad enough going into a Save-A-Lot twice in one day.
I mean, really.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. I didn't want to go back. I really didn't want to make it number 3.
No.
I'm sorry, what?
Number 1, peeing.
No, not
Number
2.
2,
Not
pooping. Number 3, bologna.
If you know what I'm saying.
Expelling bologna violently through some means. You fill in the gaps. So that's my quick opener. Someone else can take it from here.
All right, I have one. I'll share a story about the coolest drug deal I ever took part in.
I think I actually might know what this is.
It was. I had when I was
Did
still.
it involve a CD?
No.
Okay, never mind.
No. When I was still smoking pot when I was younger, I had. This was a very big source of pride for me at the time. I had the best pot dealers in Youngstown when I was younger.
Yeah.
And of course, now that I'm 27 years old, I have no idea how you even go about.
Right.
I have no I'm out.
You'd have to ask
the fuck out of me.
I have to very nervously ask somebody where to even go to get.
You have to bother a kid
Right.
leaning against a wall outside a pizza shop.
Right.
Now.
Like, hey man, you have a,
I don't know you. I'm waiting for my mom.
Yeah, I don't even know. I can't. Even if I wanted to, I can't smoke pot anymore because.
Yeah. The time has passed.
I don't even know where you can get it.
No, the time has passed.
But the coolest drug deal I ever did was I had the best pot dealers in Youngstown, and this guy I'll say his name was Nick. And not.
I was looking at you in horror because I'm like, was it Nick?
Yeah,
I'll say his name was Nick because that was actually his name.
I'll say his name was Nick.
His name was
Nick.
His name was Nick. It's a different Nick. But there's this
Not
guy.
that Nick.
This guy who used to sell me pot, and my friend and I were we wanted to get stoned one day. We had nothing else to do. We used to smoke pot in my garage, and then whatever teenagers do when they're high.
Yeah.
And I texted him hey, can you hook us up? And he's like, yeah, man, just come out, let me know. Text me when you're pulling up the street. I'll meet you outside. So I was in the passenger seat. My buddy was driving. I gave my friend the $20, thinking we would pull into the driveway and do the, you know what I mean, do the deed.
Do that cool handshake thing.
I texted him. This dude met us outside, and as we're pulling up the street, he's going doing the international symbol for roll down your window. Yeah. Like we're all in the 1980s where you still have to hand crank your window down.
Complicated series of levers.
Right. So I roll down my window and we cruise past. And as we're cruising past, he leans into the passenger window by me, and he drops a 20 sack of pot in the little the where you push the door open. There's that little plastic tray.
Yeah.
He dropped
hand grip.
Yeah. Then
He
dropped it in that little hand grip, and then he was loop around, and he came back, and my buddy looped around, and he had the $20, and he held it out the window. The guy who was giving it to us took the money and then walked back into his house, and we just drove off. And we pulled down to the street by the stop sign, and I looked at my friend and I was like, dude, that was James Bond shit right there. That is the coolest thing I've ever had us do ever.
That's a hell of a maneuver.
That was the coolest drug dealer. Of all the crazy pot buying stories I have, that was the coolest drug deal I ever made in my entire life.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, what is happening? What's going on
over
here?
I'm listening to your conversation. I was just telling Captain Slam here.
She's trying to mime things to me.
I'm trying to mime that there's 2 of him because I'm real drunk.
Oh, there's 2 of me. Okay, I thought you were tracking how many of these I've had so far.
No, David.
Slow you down.
Dave. I'm sorry, we're not using real names.
No, that's okay. We use real names on
All
here.
right, my name's Aubrey, by the way. Did we introduce
I said that.
Yeah.
Hi, Aubrey. You got to be an alcoholic like me, and then things will be
Hey,
K.
toughen up a little.
All right, I'm sorry. I was honestly
No,
listening.
you're good.
but-
You're good.
Yeah, so you're passing around.
Yeah.
That sounded weird, but
You
I
pass it
Pass it
around.
around.
Yeah.
So-
You take one down, you pass it around.
We're
There's
passing-
99 models of beer on the wall, right?
Yeah. We'll pass in the Dutchie on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that's the Crip side.
Yeah, no, that was the coolest drug deal I ever made. And now I can't even like hold a door open for somebody without being way too fucking weird. I used to smoke enough pot that I was that cool, and now like that I'm an adult and I have bills to pay, I can't even like just do something normal without being really weird and awkward. So
Yeah, right. Like, think back to your suaver younger
yeah,
self
right.
and realize he's never coming back.
Never.
Yeah. But I love this topic, by the way.
Yeah, this is gonna be
We're
good.
going to have a lot of fun on this. I'm going to give you guys some room if you got a crime story.
So I have a crime story that I helped solve a crime once.
Ooh.
I helped solve
Detective Slam.
Yeah. So
Gumshoe Slam.
yeah. So the setting is 3rd grade.
Da-na-na.
Slamlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sherlock
It
Homeboy.
was then that she walked in.
So I can't even concentrate
She had the sweetest ass I'd ever seen.
for a 3rd grader.
Back up.
Okay, so I was out at recess. This was at the now defunct Springfield Elementary in New Middletown.
Yeah.
I heard they have a great grill.
Sorry,
I am, by the way, going to put some Private Eye music under this.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, please do.
Please do.
It's going to be.
Just do Hall & Oates Private Eyes.
When I
Private eyes.
Watching you.
when I was introing this segment, I was thinking about like when I said I'm talking, of course, about crime, just pulling out my phone and playing the Dragnet theme.
No, we're going to have some nice, kind of like jazzy.
Yeah.
When he gets to tell his story.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
So anyway, I'm at recess. The playground is like a the playground equipment, swing sets, jungle gym, and then like this big open field where they would have like grade school Olympics and field day and stuff like that.
Yeah, the traditional playground.
Much less
Yeah.
exciting than real Olympics.
Yeah. So the I was walking around out in the field because I was bored. I didn't know what to do, and so I came across some fireworks casings.
Ooh.
And I was like, this isn't allowed on school property. This is
Nerd.
and so I picked up 2 of them and I ran over and I went to my buddy at the time. What was his name? Vince. I showed Vince. I was like, someone's been setting off fireworks here, and he's like, oh man. We gotta get to the bottom of this.
It's a real Hardy Boys right here.
It really was. Like in retrospect, I'm really surprised that he was as into this idea as I was.
Yeah.
We went around interviewing like just kids we knew. And
I love this.
and we got to this one kid who was like really kind of like white trash. I didn't know what white trash was at the time, but like in retrospect. And so like we knew him, and we went up to him and we were like, we're investigating these fireworks, and he's like, oh yeah, I set those off. And we're like, and we just look at each other. We're like,
Yes.
we got him. We got him. So this is where it gets even better. We went and told the principal.
Oh my god.
I did the smartest thing I could think. I tattled on him.
Yeah, we tattled.
You snitch.
We tattled hardcore. We went to tell the principal, and nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened.
Riveting beginning to end.
We were
I
like,
have to say.
oh man, we're gonna come in and he's gonna be suspended. And then like we came in and he's just sitting there and we're like, huh.
How about that?
So that was my very first, maybe my last detective adventure.
I love it.
That's
Detective Slam is my favorite.
Just like a tiny Detective Slam, though. Like I've seen pictures of you as a kid, and I'm just picturing you with a Sherlock Holmes cap on it, and it's the cutest thing.
right over my dorky bowl cut.
Bowl cut, yeah, you're back.
Yeah.
Hey, we all had bowl cuts. I had a bowl cut. There's a picture of me with my dad on a playground. I look like a boy. There's nothing wrong with that. I like right now I have the side of my head shaved, so I still kind of look like a boy right now.
That looks cool as hell, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Listen, you just can't presume gender.
Yeah, exactly. But I looked like I also looked like I was possessed by a demon. But
in
that was
California, you can go to jail for that. So
Yeah.
everyone be careful what they assume.
Shit. That's the real crime. I used to collect like stories of dumb criminals too when I was young.
I love those.
Like my favorite of which being the guy who walked into a Circle K in Waco, put a 20 on the counter to distract the cashier while he pulled a gun and demanded all the money in the register.
Yeah.
What was in the register amounted to $10 and change, which he took and ran and left the 20 on the counter. It's so simple. It's such a quintessential like.
The guy lost $10.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my god, I love that so much. Oh man, you ever break the law, Aubrey?
Yeah, you know what? I actually have.
Breaking the law.
Bam!
Breaking the law.
No,
Breaking
there's
the
something
law.
super British about that song because he's like breaking the law. It's not breaking like
Breaking the law.
It's
Yeah.
breaking the law.
Breaking the law. Pushing over garbage bins. I'm sorry, pushing over rubbish bins.
Yeah, there you go.
Real talk, that's my favorite Judas Priest song.
What?
Hijacking lorries.
Hijacking lorries.
Coming to a rolling stop.
Well, that has one of the...
Breaking the law. Breaking the law. I came up to a rolling stop in the dead of night. One of my headlights out.
That's good.
I don't know where to go
Oh
from
no,
there.
that's okay. I in high school I had a friend. No names, but
No names.
not
That's a weird
not
name.
the best.
Oh, Sally, no names.
Yeah.
I remember her.
It was definitely it was a female, but not the best influence. Taught me how to shoplift.
Oh boy.
Didn't do it much, I will say, not
Yeah.
much. But I have 2 stories of shoplifting, and that's all I did. And it was when I was 18 and never did it again. Would never do it again.
Her name was Winona Ryder.
I mean,
Besties.
shoplifting is bad, but what if you want stuff for free and don't have money?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Right, obviously.
But Winona Ryder, that doesn't work as an excuse, right? She's got money.
But she was in Aliens.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing.
You make a compelling
Well,
point.
obviously she has money. She was in Aliens. She got at least $60,000 for that.
Yeah.
At least.
And then stealing handbags. What's the come to, Winona? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing, Winona?
We're like, girl busted, am I right? What? Girl never mind.
Girl interrupted.
Thank you. Someone put
Yeah,
that
I
on
know
my
what
job.
it is.
Girl incarcerated.
Yeah.
That's it.
You made it better.
Yeah, I did.
That was good.
I stole it from you.
You
I
stole
flipped it.
Oh.
You would know
You
the
just
rider
committed a
that.
crime.
I would know
You
that.
know when that. You
know
know
what rider
that rider.
This is all over the place.
Here's what I'm
Looks like Winona Ryder just lost Ona Ryder.
Let's drink more, everybody.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm running out of booze and
Oh God.
I'm running out of mixer, and I
Oh,
don't think
boy.
my boyfriend's gonna let me drink.
I'm trying to do this
Do
thing
it.
that like they do in Japan.
You know your limits.
Where you-
Yeah.
Drink
But
it.
do-
That's the way to do it. It stabilizes the jug.
But
Yeah.
do I know my limits?
We're gonna
I don't
find
drink.
out.
Look, I don't drink often. Okay. So anyway,
Maybe give it a few minutes.
Two times. Oh, I feel it. I'm gonna need you to help me stand up. So 2 times in my life, I did things I stole that I'm not proud of at all. One time was from a company that we all know, most of us love, and has all the money in the world.
Oh boy.
Disney.
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 Yeah.
Disney.
Fuck them.
went to Disney.
Anti-Semitic bastards.
My mom took me and my then best friend in high school to Disney for high school graduation because I have the best mom in the world. Who spoils me.
Shout out to Miss Tina.
Yeah, Miss Tina.
Much love to Miss Tina.
Miss Tina.
Woo! And she does know this. This is the only reason I'm bringing it up. Cause
I was going to say, I hope she knows about
She does
this.
know. She knows these both things. At the time, and still now, they have a pin trading thing. They're enamel pins.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty goddamn expensive.
Uh-huh.
And it's like you can trade with the people that sell them and things like that. It's not as big now, but it was back then. And it's been around since actually 1968.
Okay.
I will just say that because of this person I met in high school, I came home with a lot of pins. I'm not proud of it. I really am not.
Yeah.
But my reasoning at the time was, it's Disney. They have a fuck ton of money.
And you weren't wrong
Yeah.
either.
No, I wasn't wrong.
Your actions have not yet doomed the Disney company.
I know. Fortunately, my amassing the amount of pins I got, they're still fine.
Yeah, they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
There's another Avengers
Yeah.
movie in the pipeline
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yep. 2018, 2019. All right, sorry. I'm
Infinity
really
War,
big,
right?
Yep, Infinity War. Real big comic book
Fucking
nerd.
Nice.
The other time was, I'm not going to say where this was.
Okay.
But
just
it
as
was a place I went for schooling, for secondary schooling.
Mm.
And I was like, you know what? I want to get my mom something real nice.
Yeah.
But I don't have the money. So I got her this bumper sticker that said "Proud Mom" for this institution that I stole from.
This institution.
And
I love that so much. Is stealing the Proud Mom
yeah, that's the
merchandise.
best part because it said "Proud Mom." And if you don't know me as a person, which I'm guessing most of the people listening don't, I can't tell a lie for shit.
Yeah.
For shit.
Yeah.
I gave it to my mom. She's like, "How'd you pay for this?" I immediately told her I stole it. She was so mad at me.
She wasn't proud?
No, she wasn't. She was indeed.
Well, that
not
defeats
proud.
the whole purpose of the bumper sticker.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
I
well,
can't
oh
use
my
this.
God, she's not proud.
How
Fuck.
Shakespearean.
Yeah.
How O. Henry.
Yeah. So she threw it away because which is fine.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I was ashamed of myself. I stole I think maybe 2 more small things too.
Yeah.
From their store, and I was ashamed of myself. It was before I had a job at the time, and I did feel like shit, and But since I can't lie, and you can ask Miss Tina about this.
Pretty bad criminal.
I would never get away with a crime. But yeah, it's just the irony is that it said "Proud Mom," and she was definitely not proud of me at that moment.
God.
Yeah, so that's my crime story. I don't really.
I love that's
I don't.
incredible.
Besides. Not accidentally. Fuck that. I didn't accidentally commit those crimes. But from accidentally, not accidentally. Oh my God, I'm so drunk.
Oh, Aubrey.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Woo! This is
Ow!
Every Tuesday for 4 years.
What I want to say is,
3 years.
I don't have any true crime stories or anything cool like that.
But those are good crime stories because they're the perfect crime stories. They're like, it's like,
the perfect crime stories where I admit to it immediately.
yeah. Well, that's what I love about those stories.
Oh, I stole it.
That's what I love about it.
Aren't you proud of me?
Yeah.
They're almost not crime because they're committed in such complete earnestness. Is like, I stole these.
I got it at a discount.
Yeah.
A 5-finger discount.
Theft.
All right,
Masturbation.
So
I have a bad habit of doing
I had to
that.
look up the Ohio statute of limitations for this.
Oh shit!
Oh,
All right,
my.
what
Okay.
do you got?
Actually, I don't know how personal you want to get here, but you got it too.
Nope, I don't want to get that personal about this. If this is where I think I'm going, I don't think we should talk about this at all.
Oh, come on, buddy.
I don't want to talk about this at all.
Come on, buddy.
But he
No, I
looked
don't
up
like
the
this one.
statute of limitations.
I looked at. We're all right.
Wait, did you guys kill someone? Because there's no statute of limitation on murder.
Yes, there is. It's 20 years. In Ohio.
Wait, is there?
Yeah, I just
I
looked
was
it up.
going to
It's
say,
20
and it might not have been in Ohio. So
It's 20 years in Ohio.
Yeah.
6 years on everything else.
It concerns me that you fired back with that. So.
Oh, good. Wait. 6 years on everything else. I don't feel as bad.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, I was a little worried
6
when
years
he
on
brought when Slam brought up that topic. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Now, okay, so for clarification, we haven't committed any crimes that are within the statute of limitations.
Absolutely
Correct.
not. No,
Okay.
I'm ashamed of the things I did, and
I grew up. So
yeah, exactly.
I grew up.
Yeah. Some people I know did not. I did. But yeah.
I have a car payment now, so
So I can't do any of that shit anymore.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
I got bills to pay. No,
Yeah.
I used to work at a place that I didn't like,
Yeah.
and
We'll leave it there.
we'll leave it there. I used to work at a place that I didn't like, and every now and then I would take a bottle of wine off the shelf when I was like 19, 20 years old.
Sure.
It was one of those things where like I was stocking shelves, and I'd be like stocking the shelves for the wine, and like rather than put all of them up on the shelf,
Just one of them would fall into your pocket.
well, like no, one of them would stay in because they would be in like crates, like cardboard crates.
Yeah.
And I would put all of them up, but like 1 or 2 bottles.
Uh-huh.
And I would always do it in the wintertime because I was smart.
Smarty pants.
Smarty pants. And I would, and I was like, fuck this job. I don't care. It wasn't worth that much money.
Yeah.
But I would put all of them up, but one or 2 bottles, and then rather than like take them and like I would wheel the boxes on the cart that I had back to where the trash compactor was, and then I would it would be at the end of the night when I do it.
Yeah.
Because that that spot where the wine was always the last thing I did at night, and I would carry my coat with me so I could throw the trash out, put the cart away, tuck the wine bottles inside my inner coat pocket, my winter coat, and punch out and then leave.
Yeah, right.
So I used to walk out with a couple bottles of wine. Every once in a while when I was younger, nobody was ever the wiser.
Yeah.
I used to get a good drunk on.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you want to get
Hey, folks.
if you want to get a real good drunk on, the best thing to do is get cheap wine and drink as much of it as possible.
Yup.
That's
If you want to get
$7
white
or
girl
$8
drunk,
You want to get white girl
if you
wasted?
want to get white girl, if you want to get white girl wasted, cheap wine.
Cheap wine.
Aw,
It's
man.
the best. It's the best. It's my favorite. Of all the
Absolutely.
buses I've had, it might be my favorite bus.
Yeah.
Gets everything nice and warm.
Yeah.
It's not like beer where you're sloppy. You get nice and warm.
I mean, I get way too sentimental when I have wine. I get too sentimental. I get,
get
Yes,
sentimental
white
on
girl
wine.
drunk.
I get
That's
weepy.
exactly
Yeah,
it.
white girl. White
White girls
wasted.
are, yeah, that's exactly
You,
what
you
it is.
start out and you're like, woo! And then
Yeah,
you're like,
and then you're like, oh,
why doesn't you love me?
You're my best friend.
Why
in the
did you
whole
fuck
world.
She's a whore! Yeah, but
yeah.
I totally, really, that was the extent of it. I didn't really take anything else, but I did take, in my time at that job, I took a lot of wine.
You ever stop to think about the dollar amount of the damage you did?
The dollar amount of the damage I did there at that place in
Yeah.
particular, with like the little bit that I did take,
That could affect the statute of limitations.
couple
my friend.
hundred bucks.
Yeah.
Couple $100. It wasn't that much. It wasn't that much. We're talking like $3
Yeah,
bottles
we're talking
of wine.
cheap wine, right?
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna.
yeah.
We're talking real cheap wine. $3 bottles of wine. So it wasn't that bad.
Now, if it makes you feel any better, there was a manager at that same place that, while I was there, was fired for just like hoofing TVs out the back of the store.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
It happened again, by the way, after you left. We had a different supervisor who did the same
Same
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy how much happened in that place that I will not name.
That place.
The place shall
Yeah.
that shall not be named.
Yep.
Yeah, God, that was
Yeah, that
ridiculous.
was the place where, and I'll just say it. I mean, it was a place where, and I'm not that person. I'm really not that person. But I had become very jaded at that job, and I was a young, stupid teenager, and I was also incidentally high all the time. So, I just was like, fuck it. It didn't matter. I wanted to drink cheap wine, so
Yeah,
that was
right.
fine. I stole several crates of it.
He says
Overall.
into the
Into the empty bottle of booze.
Wine, yeah. No, I stole several crates of that over the time that I was.
I have a game for you guys, and I wonder if there would be any takers.
I'll take. Oh, good boy, I'll take it. What is it?
Let's do it.
You have no money. You figure the best way to get money is to rob a bank.
Okay.
I'm going to give you one random object. You have to tell me how you're going to rob the bank with that object.
This is great.
This sounds good.
I'm so into this.
Yeah.
Let's do one at a time. Everyone, let's go.
Who is first?
Let's go.
I'm
your
using
left to right.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm using a random object generator to generate random objects. When I find a fun one, I'll ask you. Okay. You're going to try to rob a bank, Chris.
Okay.
With nothing but a cinder block.
A cinder block. Well, that's easy. First thing I'm gonna do, like, I'm presuming that it's like nighttime and there's not really anybody there but a security guard.
Let's go for it. You can pick the time of the robbery.
Yeah, exactly.
First thing I'm gonna do is throw the cinder block through the goddamn window, break it in. Alarms are gonna go off. The security guard's gonna come running. I'm gonna pick up the cinder block. I'm gonna crush his face with the cinder block. When he's on the ground, I'm gonna take the keys to whatever he has the keys for.
The vault.
The vault, or
I sure hope they don't give the guy with the vault key just the patrol of the front of the building.
Sure.
Okay, sure.
Just roll with me here.
I can't wait to get home to my grandkids after this shift.
Oh no, my face!
Why would you do this?
So I'll crush him maybe to death.
Yeah.
With the cinder block.
Why not?
Probably to death.
Hey, you have to.
Hey, you gotta kill him.
He can't. He's seen your face.
He can't live. He
Right.
must die.
Yeah, you only
He
have
must die.
you only have the cinder block. You didn't say you have a balaclava.
Sure, and then I have to only wait.
True.
I only have to wait 20 years before that murder doesn't count anymore.
Right.
If it's in Ohio.
Right.
So,
Doesn't count.
You're right. It doesn't count. It doesn't matter.
Murder doesn't
That
count.
blemish on my soul is gone after 20 years.
Like it never.
No, I murder him with the cinder block, take his keys, steal what I can, and then get the fuck out of there.
That's a good answer.
All
And
right.
I'll leave the cinder block even.
You'll even leave the
Yeah,
cinder
they
block.
don't. Nobody has my fingerprints.
Yeah,
it
they're
doesn't
not
matter.
gonna. Yeah, they're
Now-
not gonna get fingerprints off a cinder block.
Right.
Now, in
Yeah.
the worst case scenario that you don't make it out in time, the cops show up to the alarms. What are you going to do in a standoff with a police cinder block?
I'm gonna-
A police standoff with a cinder block.
The cinder block
right in
came
front
from
of-
the police.
right.
Mystery solved.
I'm gonna charge at him.
Fucking
With
snitch.
I'm gonna charge at him with the cinder block. If I'm caught, I might as well.
You got to do something.
I gotta go down.
You didn't take the security guard's
Yeah,
gun.
you
You
gotta go-
fucked up.
Should-
You gotta go
I should
chat
take
in a
his
cool
gun.
You
way.
Yeah.
fucked up. You killed him, but you didn't take his
I
gun.
pictured me like throwing the cinder block and missing, and then going down and a little gunfire.
Just go down a hill and like the cinder block flies in slow motion through
Right.
the air as you're
Lives
collapsing.
next to a guy who just laughs as you fall and hit the ground.
What a faggot!
Hey Bob, did you see this guy?
What an idiot!
What a fucking idiot!
All right, I think that's a solid plan. I
That's
think
good
you're
plan.
gonna make off with a lot of dosh that way. David,
All right.
you have a mirror.
I have a mirror.
How are you gonna rob the bank?
Oh my god, this is so easy. It's like not even... Okay, so what I do is I walk up to the teller, right? I'm holding the mirror. I'm assuming it's a tall mirror. I'm behind the mirror. I scoot it right up to the counter. The teller looks at the mirror and says, "How can I help you?" Then gets confused because they've been asked, "How can I help you?" by themselves. So they say, "I'm sorry." And then that confuses them further because now that person has said, "I'm sorry" back to them. They get caught in an infinite feedback loop. They ask themselves questions for possibly
shit.
5 or 10 minutes. As this is happening, I'm on hands and knees, crawling around the counter. I go behind them. They're still talking to themselves when I open up the register, grab a bag, and just start stuffing it with cash. And by the time I'm out of there, they don't know what happened.
You grab a bag.
They're exhausted.
Every bank teller has like a row of
It's
bags.
just
like
a bag with a dollar
With a big
sign
old
on it.
dollar sign on it.
Like,
Hell
it's,
yeah.
like it's Walmart. They're
Yeah.
just stuffing a bag full of money.
So the whole time they've just been in a feedback loop talking to themselves. They get exhausted and pass out as I walk out the front door with a big bag with a dollar sign on it. Done.
Awesome.
10 G's.
Shit, man.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a
rich
good
now.
That's fucking brilliant. You exploit the laws of robotics
Yeah.
there because the tellers are all robots
They
that
are
disguise
not people,
themselves
sure, yeah.
as old
Listen,
ladies.
That's not true.
That's almost as good as my cinder block plan. That's how good that is.
It worked though because I have 10 G's.
You have 10 G's.
I have 10 G's now.
10 G's. You're like Floyd Mayweather, except you're not as arrogant.
Yeah,
and not as black either.
And you're not black. And not black. And you're all black.
And just have a bag.
In fact, you're a tubby white guy like the rest of us.
Like Floyd Mayweather, but fat and putty and white and can't punch.
He will be wearing the same outfit to rob the bank that Mayweather came in with at the McGregor fight.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's
Oh my God!
What the fuck was that?
Yeah. All right, I think Aubrey's up.
Aubrey, you must rob a bank with a tomato. How do you do it?
So easy. I mean, I know you're going to nail it.
I mean, okay.
Come on. Easy.
So,
Easy peasy.
I have this tomato.
How's that cigar?
I walk in. Well, no. Before I walk in,
Okay.
I put the tomato under my shirt and smash it.
Nice.
This is a great start.
So it's oozing through my shirt.
I
Yes.
left you so far.
This
Yes.
red is oozing through my shirt. I walk in. I look at the security guard. I've been shot. The security guard goes, where? And I'm like, he's out there. He's in a white Bronco. And
It's O.J. Simpson.
Oh shit, OJ!
Oh no, O.J.'s back.
I knew it!
They're bringing the Bronco back here.
They are, hell yeah.
They actually are.
Listen, real talk, I love the Bronco. It's a great fucking car. Yeah.
It's a reliable car.
Yeah, it is.
Good if you need to get away from the murder scene.
Yeah, exactly. I walk up to the teller. I'm like, oh my god, I need something to blot this blood with. I need something for a tourniquet. Could you give me the cash? I mean, I need some dollars. And she's like, and then she's like, ma'am, there's dollars are some of the dirtiest things. I'm bleeding out. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Please.
Wait.
I'm allergic to gauze.
But wait, but here I'm like, but look, the hundreds. Not a lot of people have, so there's less people touching them. So could you give me the hundreds so I'm less likely to get a disease?
And they go, good point.
Yes, and then she gives me all the hundreds. I put them on my chest. I'm like, oh, bless you. And as the cops come in, I'm like, no, don't worry. I'm gonna go out and wait for the ambulance. And that's when I get in my car and I leave.
Jesus,
all
woman.
the hundreds in the bag.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I'm allergic to gauze and I need money and this is the least dirty money and please just cover my body with money.
Jesus, woman, is that hydrogen peroxide? Do you know what the government puts in that?
It turns the frogs gay.
It turns the
God damn it, you took my joke.
Jesus Christ. Well done, by the way. Excellent
you.
plot.
Thank you.
Very well done.
We're all much richer except for you who died in a standoff with the police. I can't
No, that
remember.
wasn't
Well-
hypothetical.
Well, and me,
You
who
might
hasn't
not.
robbed a bank yet.
That's true. You haven't robbed the bank.
Yeah.
Do you want?
Oh,
do you want
yeah,
to here,
yeah,
let's
you
see.
should do it.
Let me give you
I need
a random
I
object.
need a random object.
Yeah, let's see. Do you got the generator handy?
Yeah, where's
Yeah, here, let me
yeah.
click through for one for you.
Let me get this generator
get
handy
in
here.
on
I
this.
just hit refresh.
Okay, let's
There's
see.
6 objects on there. Pick.
Okay, so, I see. So just swipe down kind of thing. Let's see. Random things. Okay, I'm curious. How do you rob a bank with a loaf of bread?
With a loaf of bread.
It just says bread, but I'm considering it a loaf. I'm giving you extra bread.
Man, if she did
Thank
it with
you.
a tomato,
I
you
appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
I
You can
appreciate
do
it.
Many more slices.
Well, I take the loaf.
He says. I take the loaf, he says.
I take the loaf.
Leave the cannoli.
Hey, it's crime related. Good job.
Bonus points. Ting, ting, ting.
I take the loaf, right? Mm-hmm. I
Aye. Talking about the big monkey man. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I take the loaf, okay? What I do is I put it in a sack and sling it over my shoulder.
So the loaf sack is hanging over your arm.
Yeah, and
You
I
got a big old loaf sack.
and I say,
Dangling
"Hey,
low.
just here to exchange the rotten money." And the
That's what they call it, the rotten money.
Oh yes, the rotten money.
That might be a thing for all I know.
Yeah.
and the teller says, "What do you mean rotten money?" I'm like, "Oh, you haven't heard? The latest bills, fresh out of the mint, are susceptible to mold and deterioration. I'm here to take them off your hands and replace them with these." She can't see the loaf of bread because it's in a sack. You see.
Great idea.
Yes.
With these clean bills. The teller says, "Very well, go ahead." I put the I go into the vault.
Sounds true.
I put the loaf on the ground. Into it, I use my car keys and carve out the words, "You have been goofed on." Meanwhile,
I'm just gonna goof all over you.
I'm gonna goof him good.
I'm gonna goof all over your hair.
Meanwhile, and this is the brilliant part, I put the money in the sack and walk out with it.
That's brilliant.
Because money mold doesn't exist.
Oh my God, are you serious?
That's the twist.
Oh my God,
That's the
Shyamalan.
Oh my God, I'm gonna Home Alone this podcast.
You really, you really Shyamalama ding donged all of us.
And as one last middle finger, I leave the loaf that says you done got goofed.
Yeah.
You got goofed on.
Wait, you wrote that on the loaf?
I carved it with my car keys.
I love it. It's in the loaf.
You got goofed on. I leave the loaf on the floor and walk out with the money.
You did them a heckin' bamboozle.
Yeah, when they discover that loaf, that loaf, they're gonna be right sore.
Are they gonna be socked in the dinger?
They got
socked right in the dinger.
Yeah.
Dingers socked
Listen,
pretty
this
hard.
podcast is about two things: socking and dingers.
Oh man! Shout out to Corey Suhar.
Shout out
so
to
much
Corey,
fun last week.
who was maybe the best weird guest.
Corey made my 12th grade.
Yeah.
I didn't have many classes. I went to night school because of my social anxiety.
Yeah.
And so 12th grade, I had to take government, and he was in my government class. And we tortured my poor teacher, but she still loved us.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Corey just it just made my day better because
Corey,
it was the last class of the day. Mm-hmm. I always went home laughing. It was great.
Yeah,
like
that's a great way to end a day.
It really was. It was a good man.
That last episode was the first time I'd ever met him, and he is definitely a human treasure.
Well, I should say we have had some really good luck with guests.
Well,
every guest has been a lot of fun.
I very much enjoy all the guests.
Maybe we shouldn't be like talking about it as if it's over or
no,
something.
it's all right. No. We haven't.
Particular.
Well, we're coming off a long stretch of
Coming
guests.
off a crime for a second.
Yeah, well, we had Pat, then we had Corey, and then we had you. Mm-hmm. Like, guys who were listening to this.
Yeah, but what about your first official, unofficial guest?
Christy?
Our first official, unofficial guest was Christy.
Yes.
I think it was Boba, actually.
Yeah.
He doesn't count.
Yeah.
I still maintain my favorite episode of the show that we've done so far has been Christy's episode.
Oh yeah,
because of like the laughing fits that we got into.
Yeah,
that was the non-traditional student.
Yes, that was the one that got me the most. But it's a good. I'm glad. I was nervous that we were going to have guests on it.
Yeah,
like, I was excited about it, and then when we had Christy on, I was like, oh no, is this going to work? And then every guest we've had so far has worked.
Yeah, Alec back to back, funny
Alec
both
back
times.
to back, right? Back to back, really
yeah,
funny
absolutely.
Both times. Like I was super. I have no problem saying this. Like I was really excited that you were going to come on the show. Because Aubrey's been a super. I don't know if you guys know.
Aubrey's our super fan.
Aubrey's our super fan of the show.
I would like to point out, actually, as you were saying this, I did a little bit of digging into the statistics for the show. Do you know who has the most listens by far? It's definitely you.
I do listen a lot.
That's because she loves me so much.
It is, and the best part is when you know these guys. My favorite part is I can picture them laughing. I can picture them when they say certain things. I've seen their faces with all of you.
Oh, us.
All of you.
That's so weird. You talk about us?
Talk about you. Like, talk about these guys on this podcast that, I know them well enough that I can picture their faces and it makes me laugh even harder.
Yeah.
Like, I'm laughing and then, I can picture the faces they're making.
I can
the
picture
silly,
the stupid, ugly face.
No, shut up.
Contorted into weird.
Shut up. Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up.
You bastard. Tuesday is boys'
night.
Yes!
Yes,
Tuesdays
bitches.
for the boys.
The boys come out and play.
That's the best part, and that's why I listen to it. I enjoy it. I listen to it. I've been having my mom listen to it. She really enjoys it. She wanted to listen to the one with Christy because I've known Christy since first grade.
Yes.
And she did a lot of there was a lot of cocksucking jokes. She did a lot of just shaking her head, but she laughed. She laughed. Miss Tina really enjoys it.
Yeah.
She can't wait to hear the one with Corey because she knew Corey.
Yeah.
Not much offends Miss Tina, does
No.
it?
Absolutely.
Well, I know, by the way, I know you were curious
Yeah.
This is my stepmom and my dad listened to the show.
Did they really?
Yes, they did. Yes,
Oh
they
my
did.
God.
And they think it's funny. So
Did they really?
I was like, I'm glad that we're not.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, this is.
As your dad listened to any of the like, wow, son, I'm so proud of you.
No, I don't know. I have to break that to him gently. I don't know if he knows that that's the impression.
Yeah. Well, we did it on the show, so
Wow, thanks, Dad.
In case
Thanks,
they happen
Dad.
to be listening right now, it's just a sweet, kind-hearted impersonation of a father and son who love each other very much.
Right.
You got a really big fish today, son. I'm super proud of you.
Thanks, Dad. I worked really hard to get it.
I'm so glad that we're hanging out together. I just love you so much.
I love you too, Dad.
Wow, it's great we feel this way. You want to go get some ice cream?
Yeah, I would love some ice cream, Dad.
I bet you would, my little guy.
No, I am seriously. I'm super excited that you're on the show. I've seriously been
Yes.
looking forward to this all week long.
Thanks, I am
because
too.
Anybody who's listening to this who doesn't know anything about the history of the Three Dudes thing,
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, this is a podcast where it's basically just friends and a couple other people who listen to it.
Yeah.
Just to hang out and have a good time with people we love.
It's an excuse for us to kind of record our friendship, and like the people who listen to this maybe don't know that you've been watching the YouTube show when we did the YouTube show.
Yeah.
You commented on every video. You commented on the podcast.
I started a Facebook and an Instagram fan page.
Yes.
And
I was just trying to help you gain followers. I think maybe I helped you gain 3 subscribers on Instagram, on YouTube. But I
Listen,
tried.
at the bottom line of it all, like that, all we're doing here on the show is just trying to make people laugh and record our friendship. So.
I'm gonna take a second for a real heartfelt drunk to drunk moment.
Oh boy.
yeah.
Jesus
Oh boy.
Christ, no.
Put some lovey music under this shit.
Oh, were you drinking the wine?
But it means I had one sip. But it means it means a lot to me, especially because I'm not very good at relationships. In fact, I'm kind of terrible at them.
Boy,
Don't
ain't that
listen.
the
No,
truth.
David.
I'm just kidding.
I've been in and out of a few relationships. I've dated around and
Oh, wait, excuse me?
nothing is worked. not since I met you.
Baby!
Dumbass.
What?
Jackass.
I love you too.
What I'm saying, jackass, is I love you.
No, I am super glad you came on the show because
Yes.
I've been super excited for this. I'm glad we have guests that come on the show.
Yeah, you've
and
had good guests.
we
you
have
really
had good
have.
guests so
It's
far.
been great.
And we have more guests that we need to have on the show. I know there's a couple people listening who need to come on the show.
Yeah, let's take this moment to encourage anyone if you like
you
to
want
sit
to
with
come
us,
on,
please come on the show.
Gable, I know you're listening. I know you want to come on the show.
I love to talk to Gable.
We can do a crime part 2 and get Jim Trafficant's ghost. We can.
Oh, too soon.
We can.
It will always be too soon for the Mahoney Valley.
We can do a
It
crime. One thing I don't know too much about the guy, but I always thought it was kind of cool that it was around here that Pretty Boy Floyd was shot by the FBI around here.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Claim to fame.
Yeah. I don't know too much about Pretty Boy Floyd. I know he was what in what was the guy's name? The bank robber.
Mr.
Mafia.
Robbie Pants.
Dillinger.
Oh.
He was part of Dillinger's gang.
Yeah.
Frank?
John.
Damn it.
John Dillinger.
Tony.
So,
John
Aloysius.
Jacob. Jingle.
Iris.
Dillinger. Gunther. No, we have a lot of people who listen to the show who I think pretty much everybody who listens to the show should be on the podcast at some point.
By all
Yeah.
Because we love doing this. And listen, seriously,
We've been
guys.
talking about this a long time.
We can,
I know, I feel really bad. I'm like, we're definitely not on crime anymore.
So crime.
Well, no, like here's the that was part of it. Is like the point of the show was when we do topics, it doesn't matter if the topic, if we stay on topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's okay to kind of get off on a tangent. So if you're listening to the show and you want to be a part of the show, and you're close to our area and you can feasibly get here, let us know. If you have a Tuesday night free, come on the show.
Yeah.
And
please.
just know that he's talking directly at you because
I am.
he's staring at
I'm
the
staring.
mic.
Why
Wow.
does we always stare at the microphone?
We're talking.
That's why we put googly eyes on it.
We're talking-
He's talking to you.
We're talking
Rick,
direct.
Davey, Jones,
Smith, Pants.
We're talking.
Mickey.
Directly
Whatever
to
the
you,
other monkeys are.
Chuck. We are talking directly to you.
Actually, Chuck should come on.
Chuck should come on the show. Gable
I
should
thought
come
you
on
guys
the
were
show.
just being an ass.
There's a
Bo
real
should
Chuck.
come on the
There's
show.
a real Chuck. Oh, hi, Chuck.
There's a real Chuck.
There is a real Chuck. Shoesley, if Shoesley wants to come on the show.
Shoesley?
I would love to have Shoesley in.
We need to have Shoesley on the show. We know about you, Blaine. Come
We
on the show.
got plans. We got diagrams. We got Venn diagrams of all these. We got spider webs. We got
We got a real Pepe Sylvia map.
Yeah, we
going
got
on.
Pepe
graphs.
Sylvia
Yeah,
going.
we got threads hanging on the.
There's
on the
no Carol in HR! Carol!
No, if you want to come on the show, come on the show because every time we have a guest on, it's fun and we love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great. And we're going to get better audio at some point. So
That'll be
Yeah, I apologize for all my screaming tonight.
that's okay. No,
I'm real drunk.
that's half the fun. Is
yeah.
getting really drunk and smoking some kind of
It is
tobacco.
really
and,
your tobacco. As much as I can't schmorp, it smells really good. It's
Yeah,
really nice.
yeah,
screaming without having the dog
I told
scream
you,
back.
right? That's a great cigar, isn't
got a
it?
buzz on that
That's
cigar.
an intense smoke.
So later we'll talk about the one that's not so spency
Yeah.
because that
Right.
one's coming up yet. I'll
Yes.
save it for the end.
Yes.
Now what? Capers, heists.
Yeah, let's get back into the topic. There.
There have been some actual like real fucking good crimes pulled
There
off
have
through the years, and I shared one with you guys recently, which was the Harvey's Casino bomb job.
Yeah.
Yes, an incredibly complex bomb made by an evil genius.
Yeah, this dude was ex-military, came into his own fortune, and then wasted it all gambling. He owed like something like $30 million to
As you do.
to this casino. Yeah,
Yes.
like you do.
How you do?
And so he constructed a bomb that the FBI failed to defuse because of all the fail-safes that were involved. If you tried to drill through the surface, it would complete a circuit and the bomb would detonate. Mm-hmm. If you moved it too much, there was a tumbler that would strike a
Yeah, it was a little pendulum essentially that would hit the ends and ground the circuit.
Wow.
Right, it completes the circuit, detonates the bomb. You can't flood it because there's a little float thing from a toilet, and if it goes up too far, it completes a circuit and detonates the bomb. Yeah.
Guy had options.
There were
Holy shit.
28 switches on the side that if you got the right sequence would disable the pendulum, so you could move it to if it needed to be detonated in a safe space. Mm-hmm. But of course, only the guy knew the combination.
Guy's smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah.
They were like something like
Minus the fact that he blew all his money.
right. There is that.
But yeah, smart.
There were like 8 or 9 different fail-safes on this thing, and the FBI couldn't figure it out. The bomb went off and destroyed a significant portion of the casino.
Yeah.
And they still this guy's name was Big John.
Big John.
Big John. The FBI still hails this bomb as one of the best that's ever been made.
The video you showed us of this was so incredibly informative because it does this cross section of the bomb and you see all these components and it must have taken forever for this guy to figure this thing out.
When was this?
This was in 1980, I believe.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure if you'd already said it, but I'm listening. I swear to God.
Yeah. This was back in 1980. This was 37 years ago.
Wow.
But yeah, one of the most incredible. It's one of my favorite crime stories, just because the thought and effort that went into it, and how it's just how many gambling debtors, think about doing this kind of stuff or try and fail to do this kind of stuff. And this guy just shows up with a bomb with 8 or 9 countermeasures, and the fucking FBI can't defuse it.
Well, now they just send a little robot in to cover the whole thing.
Robot?
Something
Right.
A little bomb robot. He
Yeah.
just lifts up his robot dress and just covers the bomb, and then whatever happens, I guess. I mean, they didn't have this in the 80s. It was not an option.
Guys, I'm real sorry.
What?
I have to pee.
Okay.
All right.
Piss loudly, please.
Go ahead, do your thing.
This is loud.
I want to keep this topic
Just
going.
pee really hard and loud if you don't mind. Just get it for the microphone. Yeah. So,
Don't close the curtain; it'll ruin the acoustics.
I love a good crime. I love a successful caper like that. Pulling off sort of something so complicated that nobody could figure out a solution to it.
Like the authorities just show up and they look around and they go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that's why I like things like I was a CSI fan from the beginning. I was pretty young when that started, though. To the point where this is just quick anecdote.
Yeah.
Anecdote.
A quick antidote.
A quick antidote, which you might need.
What is it the right antidote, Mr. Bond?
Which you might need for this story because
there poison?
There in fact is poison. Ooh. I bought the CSI crime scene kit, which looked like their big silver case.
Oh, nice.
Had like the fingerprint dust, the little crime scene like sketch thing. It had the cement that you could do a footprint with. Okay. And then sat in my closet. I played with it a lot. Granted, I was like a young teenager. I was an only child. So recent years they did a recall on it because of asbestos.
Oh, shit.
And it was still in my closet up till last year, and I was like, you know what? Better throw this away. And fortunately I did, because I almost gave it to my friend who has a 7 and 3-year-old. Oh. I'm glad I threw that. Yeah, I'm glad I threw that sucker away. But yeah, that was just my quick.
Wow.
Quick antidote on crimes.
Yeah.
And why I enjoy things like CSI or like I don't know, CSI Miami, or like CSI New York, or Law and Order.
Maybe not quite.
No, actually, Law and Order.
CSI Des Moines.
Law and Order. Like this is a weird ass, kind of embarrassing story. My grandpa used to watch Law and Order a lot, and when I was a kid, he'd watch it at night, and I'd be in the den area, and I'd be trying to fall asleep, and I would hear the dun dun, and these stories, blah 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 blah, and I actually have a fear of that opening. To this day, as an adult, I have a fear of not the song part, but like
these stories are real.
Yeah, exactly.
People were killed.
Yeah, that kind of shit. That part, I have a weird fear of. It gives me the chills.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. But it's still Special Victims Unit's a great show.
I mean, I used to be afraid of
Absolutely
Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Well, that's just dumb.
I can't.
I'm just kidding, baby. I love you.
So number 1, eat me. Number 2.
You know what still scares me? Is the face. You remember the X-Files intro? With the do-do-do-do-do-do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's this, they go through this montage of all kinds of things. There's like a thing that says, government denies knowledge. And there's like a picture of a UFO going, But then they have this face that stretches out in like a big S shape. And the guy looks horrified and his mouth's open and it's like, like that. That still kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
No, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why it freaks me out. It still freaks me out, though.
It all ties into fear of the unknown. This is why we have, people have such a fascination with unsolved mysteries,
Oh, God, I could watch Forensic Files for the rest of my life.
Jack the
and
Ripper,
then never sleep again.
The Zodiac Killer, for something a bit closer to home.
Yeah.
Even though we know Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer.
Ted Cruz is definitely the Zodiac Killer. You know what freaks me out still to this day?
What's that?
This is really stupid. You're all gonna laugh at me for this. It's the movie The Ring, not the movie, but like the video, like the video that you watch and you die in 7 days.
Oh no!
Just the idea.
It's that little minute and a half clip of that videotape that they play in the movie.
Yeah,
with the girl combing her hair.
Yeah,
and then it's just like the fly flying around and and the chair
like a French
spinning.
film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like a creepy French film.
It's just that real avant-garde black and white bullshit that they play for a minute and a half.
Half of the things in it are meaningless. Half of them are clues.
Yeah,
and the scary thing is you could die without knowing what the video means.
Mm-hmm.
It's still the Ring.
It unsettles me.
It unsettles me.
Much.
I'm not afraid of much. When it comes to horror movies, psychological horror, Japanese thriller, horror.
Ju-on, the movie Ju-on.
I've never seen it. The Grudge. Yeah, The Grudge. The Grudge had that contortionist scene where she came down the stairs. I used to live in my mom's basement. What a surprise! No, I was a teenager. I couldn't sleep downstairs for 2 days.
Yeah, no, it'll scare the shit out of you.
It scared the shit. I still don't like contortionist
If you've ever
stuff.
watched the Japanese version of that,
I don't want to.
It's horrifying.
God. I don't want
you know
to.
what? I'm
It's all
thinking
about crime.
Ju-on is
mostly related.
Korean, I thought.
Korean. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's all about the crime of
the-
killing someone with a demonic videotape. So I think it's related.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that counts.
That's still a crime. How do you arrest a creepy little ghost girl though?
With handcuffs, man.
Sure. My favorite horror movie
Ghost
is
Hunters.
Yeah, Ghost
Because that's absolutely real.
So real.
Yeah,
Real
super
as
real.
fuck.
Super
Yeah.
real.
Hi, I'm a douchebag. I wear glasses these days. Want to see ghosts? Let's go in this old hotel. Are there some? I don't know. Fuck you.
This one of the reasons I've wanted to get you into Supernatural for a while is they actually have some recurring characters that are like amateur ghost hunters,
That kind of thing.
and it's fucking hysterical.
I love it.
It's always funny. But yeah, but what about? But yeah, like I was talking about, like I don't know, the Zodiac Killer, or like the one with the casino bombing, like crimes that were successful.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorites there?
Favorite crimes.
I think the most fascinating crime that I have ever is the what is his name? J.B. Cooper?
D.B. Cooper.
D.B. Cooper. Thank
Yeah,
you.
what a
I think
fucking-
that's-
J.C. Penney, I remember.
Yeah. I know his crime was a little bit weird, but I find it fascinating, and like that, and the guy that was buried by the mob.
Yeah.
Oh, Hoffa.
Hoffa, Jimmy Hoffa. Yeah.
Right.
He's almost definitely somewhere in Youngstown, by the way.
Yeah.
He's almost
I wouldn't
definitely
be surprised.
somewhere
Are you serious?
in the city limit. Oh yeah,
Makes
he's
perfect
almost
sense.
he's almost definitely somewhere in the city limits, and I don't.
What?
I don't want to get too.
You
No, that's
have
okay.
some vague knowledge of some whisperings.
No, that's okay.
He's almost definitely in Youngstown due to the fact that there are certain people who were mafiosa in this area.
Yeah.
Who had dealings.
Vaguely mafiosa?
Vaguely mafiosa.
Vaguely mafia.
This is a little crazy.
Did they make it a pizza?
You making a pizza?
They made a pizza.
You want me to tattoo? I'm sorry. Go
You
ahead.
want me to
So anyway,
tattoo a photo of my scrotum on this guy's back?
No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to mop up the goddamn floor. That's what I want you to do. Jesus
That's
Christ.
actually my favorite skit you guys have ever done.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing for a while.
But anyway, yeah, D.B. Cooper. This was in the
Sorry,
60s?
70s, I believe.
70s.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually know anything about this, so please give me the rundown.
He hijacked a plane. He honestly, I think he $200,000 maybe.
No kidding.
It was a lot.
It was a lot of
quite a
money
bit.
back then. Jumped out of the plane, never heard of again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, what was strange was
But it was a very bizarre thing.
he was very cordial and polite. Like, he handed a stewardess a note saying, don't panic, this is a hijacking. Cooperate, no one gets hurt. And like it was like thought out to the last detail, this guy's plan. And he pulled it off. He jumped out. They never found any trace of him or his body.
The money.
Well, no,
well, yeah, they
some
did.
kid.
Yeah, found some money but they didn't find his body. So it's like, you would think you'd at least find like the parachute pack or some clothes or some bones or something. But it's
no one knows.
It's a pretty interesting story.
He was described as he looks a bit like a young Kevin Spacey. Mm-hmm. Like from the police sketches.
Yeah, if you
like
look at the police
receding
sketches.
hairline.
He did, I think he had glasses in the police sketch.
Yeah, sunglasses. Very clean shaven.
Very
face,
round face.
Well dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, round face. Well dressed.
Yeah.
That's all anyone actually knows of the guy. Now, it's really gonna fuck with you when I tell you that there's a theory out there saying that Tommy Wiseau is D.B. Cooper. Because
What a story, Mark.
Wow, what a
'cause
star!
he appeared out of nowhere. Nobody seems to know about his past, but he has all this money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. Tommy Wiseau just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, there's actually a lot of really good theories about Wiseau.
You are
Yeah.
my rose, you are my rose, you are my rose.
Okay.
You know that song?
No.
Did he write that?
Well, no, that's the song that's in the movie during both awkward, horrible sex scenes.
Both abdomen
I don't know,
penetration scenes.
Yeah,
I was too busy
right in the stomach.
I was
Yeah, right
too
in the
busy
belly button.
shrieking in horror to
Yeah.
hear the soundtrack.
Oh my, yeah.
Just like fucking her right in the navel.
The room itself is a crime. That movie.
Christy and our friends and I, we watched it at my house.
Yeah.
We called my mom out to make sure she saw Tommy Wiseau's butt. She was like, "Oh my god, screw this," and she left.
Yeah,
so bad.
There's a related theory, not related, but a similar theory saying that Jean-Benet Ramsey was kidnapped, brainwashed, and is now the pop sensation we know as Katy Perry.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I feel like she doesn't look like Katy Perry.
I have a quick crime I want to talk about. Something that I think is really, really cool. There's a documentary about it. This could almost count as a recommendation. It was called, I believe it was called The Imposter. It was on Netflix. It might still be. And it was a story about this young boy vanishes in, like, I forget which. It's somewhere in the southern United States, right?
Okay.
Young boy vanishes.
Oh,
without any trace of where he might have gone.
Yeah.
Vanished without a trace.
You might say. Some years later, not very long later, maybe 7 years later, something like that, the family is contacted by a police agency in Europe. Cannot remember if it was... maybe it wasn't actually. It might have been South America. I'm getting all the details wrong. It doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
They get a contact from overseas police department who claims that they have their son. Right? So, naturally, they're overwhelmed. They're so happy. He matches, the description or whatever. So they go to pick him up.
Yeah.
And he kind of looks like their son, but he seems like a lot older. There's something off, and they can't quite figure it out, but he can pass for the son. He's close enough. So they bring him home, and, they have this big party for him, and all that, everyone is so glad to have this kid back, but there's something not quite right. And some of the family have picked up on the fact that, it's like things like his teeth don't quite look right. He's like these big, rounded gap teeth that don't fit, and they kind of explain it away by, okay, well, it's been long enough, it's been years, he could have changed a lot, he grew up, things change.
Yeah.
But a lot of the family is surprisingly willing to accept that this is their son, even though some members of the family are saying, no, this isn't him, something's wrong. The guy is a noted con artist. It's not a spoiler to say, because it's part of the focus of the documentary.
Yeah.
This guy's a con. He conned a lot of people over a lot of years, pretending to be other people, pretending to be all kinds of different things. But it's the family's readiness to accept that he is the son, despite a lot of evidence that he's not, that becomes the focus of the documentary. It's almost as if they're all too glad to have their son back, and it sort of suggests that they might know something about where the real kid went.
That sounds fascinating.
And they're just willing to say, thank God he's back, and wink to each other. Yeah. Because they maybe really know exactly what happened to their boy.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
That sounds really good.
Very creepy.
My best friend.
My wife. My boy. My best friend.
The Walking Dead.
The Walking
66.
Yeah. We're going to do that sometime.
That's a sketch right there.
But no, this was a great... It's called The Imposter. I highly recommend it because... I will tell you right now, don't get excited for answers. There's a lot more questions than answers. But it's a really cool... It's a crime story about a guy faking an identity and how in the world people could fall for this. Yeah. And he pulls it off without a hitch for the most part.
He pulls it off.
Yeah.
He's pulling it off.
He's pulling it off
right
the whole
now.
time.
He's pulling off.
Right, he's just pulling it off.
He's pulling off.
He's like pulling...
Yeah. He's getting a half mast going. He's pulling off. All right.
Oh, we're all
right. Whoa. Woo.
Anyway, that's a
More
pretty cool
beer.
crime. Something to watch. Something to watch.
Something to
The
watch.
Imposter on Netflix.
Imposter.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Well,
I think it's about that time.
It's about that time.
Is it? Wow. All right.
What is it? Oh, God.
We're way... This is going to be a long
An
episode.
hour 42?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Man. All right. Well, I guess it's about that time to wrap this segment up, move on to greener pastures, and stop incriminating ourselves on the microphone and
Limitations, buddy.
Statute of limitations.
Right. Oh, hell yeah. America's a great country. When we come back, what we've learned.
Yes.
Our recommendations, and then what we've learned.
Yes.
Stick around. Love you.
Guys.
I dare you. Welcome back to the Three Dudes Cast.
Hi there.
Where our motto is NPR jokes are a really fucking nerdy thing to do.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Buddy Corpse. And we're here to talk
I'm
to you.
Leslie Stahl.
And we're here to talk to you today about the liberal news.
Now then, is the time in our show where we recite our recommendations.
You recite them
We recite them.
like poetry.
Oh, we
Yes.
recite them because I didn't write it down. It's
You
just-
better sing it.
And heavens, do I have a recommendation for you.
Oh boy,
do
I'm into
tell.
it. I'm into it.
Do tell.
Now, Chris may have already recommended this at an earlier date, but my Steam library, as you know, is full of over 500 games. Mm-hmm. I have a problem. As such, there's a bunch of games in there.
It's a major problem.
Single-player games that I haven't really played yet. Mm-hmm. One of those is a game I'm pretty close to completing. I feel I'm pretty close to completing it. This game, of course, is Psychonauts.
Yes. Psychonauts.
Tim Schafer's
Hell yes.
Double Fine.
Yes.
Cult hit. Mm-hmm. Psychonauts.
Fucking great game.
Revolves around an adventurous young lad named Rasputin.
Yes.
Who wants to become a psychonaut, a psychic commando, a super spy who wages war in the minds of his enemies.
Yes.
But he soon discovers that nothing at Whispering Woods, right? Is that it? Whispering Woods
yeah.
Psychic Summer Camp is as it seems. It is a insanely fun. It's an adventure platformer. You've got kind of your hub world and then your other, like mines that you dive into. You get psychic powers, telekinesis. You can set shit on fire. You can levitate. You can look through other people's eyes.
Yeah.
And on top of everything, it is hilarious.
Yeah, it's really
I always
funny.
think of the milkman.
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
What do you know about the milkman?
This is really good.
I am on the road crew. Our backs are killing us.
This is my stop sign.
This is my stop sign. It's got one of the most bizarre. It's one of the funniest fucking games I've ever played.
Really good. Yeah.
Like, and it takes a lot to make a game, at once entertaining and funny without looking like it's trying too hard.
Right.
And that's really the thing. But Psychonauts really, like, right out of the gate hits you with its style, and it's like you're like, okay, I know exactly the kind of game this is going to be.
Yeah,
it's a little dark, a little goofy, and it's a lot of fun. I'm really close to beating it.
I would argue maybe the most underrated game of all time. Because it did not perform well, but it's a cult classic. It's one of those games that...
I've watched a lot of YouTubers play it,
it's
honestly.
a great game.
It is
it's
a
really
it is
fun
a
And I've watched Lamb play it, too.
Yeah. It is a phenomenal game. It's on Steam. If you don't have it, get it.
It's
probably,
worth it.
It's probably like $10 or
Yeah,
less
it's
now,
really worth every penny that you pay for it.
If that.
Double Fine Productions in general, Tim Schafer's company.
Yeah.
Brutal legend. One of the best soundtracks ever.
Much better than it was given credit for, I
Sure.
think.
Oh,
I feel like blindsiding the player base with the RTS element, but it's like, I've played RTSs, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, most people can figure it out.
You all right?
You all right?
You just smell a bunch of liquid.
Down my boobs.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, now your boobies are all wet. You should let me clean
God,
them.
let me get those clean
My
for
boobies
you.
are soaked.
Let me clean them for you.
Clean them
Yeah,
up.
like
All
this
right,
alcohol.
boys.
Can't let that alcohol go to waste.
No, Double Fine was Grim Fandango's another great double.
Yes.
I'm playing that
Yeah.
right now. Grim Fandango is fucking awesome.
I'm playing it right now. It's incredible. It's very hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's very
Those,
hard.
well, I mean, those little point and clicks are really, they're unintuitive.
You gotta have an eagle eye for the details.
Good story.
Yes,
What's his
and I
name?
do
The
not.
fucking the demon guy with the car. Fuck. What's
Oh
his
yeah,
name?
the big old dude.
Yeah, what's his name?
I can't
Help
remember
me.
his name.
Oh fuck!
I just started this game.
Never played Grim Fandango.
Grim Fandango's awesome. That's a good one.
Don't
Very
you
fun.
own Grim Fandango, though?
Do I? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll have to- I'll have to come through my library of 500 games.
Maybe I was on Drog's library because he lets me use
Perhaps,
his computer when
yeah.
when he's not home.
That might have been mine.
Glottis.
Glottis.
That's it. It's Glottis.
Glottis.
Glottis. Yeah, the what's his? He's a demon. He's
like a reject demon that works
he's
in the
a
garage.
speed demon. He's a speed demon. Glottis the speed demon. Yeah.
No, he's great.
Working on the hot rods.
Speaking of speed demons and working on hot rods, one of my favorite things about Brutal Legend was the fact that they actually got Ozzy to voice the guy who upgrades your shit.
Sure, and Lemmy Kilmister as
Lemmy was
dude up the mountain with the spider base.
Spider bass strings.
Lemmy as himself.
Lemmy Kilmister. Yeah.
Not even a character. It's just Lemmy.
Yeah, like his name was literally just the Killmaster.
Yeah, right.
Like.
Double Fine makes fantastic games.
Yeah, everything Tim Schafer does is incredible.
Psychonauts is a very delightful game. It's just on the border of like, 2 or 3 generations of games ago where platformers were still really good and really beloved.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's shit to collect. There's goofs to be had.
Goofs.
Goof Chill.
I love a good goof.
Always play together.
It's a really hilariously fleshed out world because your HP is referred to as mental health.
Right.
You require certain amounts of mental aggression to fire your ranged ability. There's all sorts of
you have to discover emotional baggage.
That might be my favorite part.
Which is literally crying pieces of luggage.
Yeah.
That
You have to find the tags for.
Yeah.
That cracks
smart.
me up.
It's so smart.
It is. It's really smart.
It's really good. I think next to the Milkman conspiracy, the Lungfishopolis was my favorite fucking Goggalore.
Yeah. No, anything Tim Schafer does is really great. I'm a big fan of those.
Get
games.
Psychonauts, play it. You owe it to yourself as a gamer. It's super good. It's a lot of fun.
They might still be crowdfunding the sequel.
I hope so because
better be.
It was one of those things that didn't pick up steam until way later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people realized how good Psychonauts was way after the time when it was important.
That might be a good recommendation, just as an aside, is Google to see, because I don't have the address, but I know that they were kickstarting a sequel to this game. Google it, see if it's live. If it is, consider chipping $5.
Well, and the sequel will do way better than the original did, just because it didn't
reputation alone.
Yeah, it's got a cult following now, so of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I should get into mine. I have a couple follow-ups that I want to talk about.
Okay.
I have one too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Follow-ups?
Yeah, I do.
So number one is the Up and Vanish podcast that Dave, you were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Did you listen to it?
I've been listening to it. I'm not all the way through it, but I'm a good portion of the way through it.
Okay.
I'm up until the point where somebody had admitted fault for the murder.
Okay. Okay, I'm not going to say it.
Don't say it. So I'm up. I listened to the whole thing. I'm up to the point where somebody has been charged.
An indictment.
An indictment.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, but I didn't want to say it.
Somebody has been charged and indicted, and I will say this: I'm a bigger fan of the guy. Well, I can't remember his name right now because it's been a couple weeks since I listened to it. I'm a bigger fan of the guy that is the private investigator.
Oh, is it? Oh, what's his name?
What's his fucking name?
It's it's gonna come to me. It's not Dusty. That's the newspaper guy.
No.
Maurice.
Maurice, yeah.
Yeah, Maurice Godwin.
Godwin, that's it.
Private Eye.
I'm a bigger fan of Godwin than I am of
Payne Lindsay.
Yeah.
Payne Lindsay's incredibly infuriating.
Fucking millennials.
Even his
Oh my God.
I knew you were talking about
Lindsay.
the terrible murder of
Jesus
this girl.
Christ.
But I'm here to tell you
What
about
kind of
Blue
asshole
Apron.
is named Payne?
Right.
My favorite thing about the podcast is exactly that, where he'll say something like, and then the body parts were found strewn all over the field.
Yeah.
Hey guys, do you like a home cooked meal?
I do.
Yeah, you're gonna love Blue Apron.
Sign up for Blue Apron. Only $45 goddamn dollars a meal, and it's delivered right to your fucking door. Anyway, back to the panties we found under the house. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
No, but Maurice Godwin's the shit.
He's great. He's legit.
That's the guy. Yeah. So I've been listening to that podcast. Trisha's been listening to that podcast.
It's pretty good, right?
We've been kind of like sucked into it. It's really good. Yeah. So I would follow up on that recommendation. Another one is I went back and listened to one of my favorite jazz albums, which was Time Out.
Yeah, Dave Brubeck.
Dave Brubeck. Fucking love that record. I have Time Out and Time Further Out on wax.
Yeah.
Went back and listened to that. Fucking great.
Time Out is great because it's such a, like, I feel like most of the jazz classics, your Miles Davis, your John Coltrane, are so melancholy. They're soulful.
Sure.
But take Time Out is so like. It's so just upbeat. It just makes you want to just like drive around town and just feel the breeze through your hair.
It's a raggy waltz.
Yeah. It's a really, for the jazz that I'm familiar with, Dave Brubeck is super upbeat.
Take 5 is actually the coolest song that's ever been recorded. It's really cool.
I just listened to it on my drive home from work, and it's
really cool.
It makes any drive better. You just feel like, yeah.
Everybody knows that song. You might not know it, but everybody.
It's a quick listen. You've heard it somewhere.
Sure. Yeah. No, that it is one of the coolest albums ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let me get into my honest recommendations here.
Yeah.
Of which I have 2 this week. The first one I'm going to recommend a show that I've been meaning to recommend for a while. Something that I've been thinking about more and more lately in this horrible time of strife. The show that I think is maybe my favorite television show ever, with the best ending, the best series finale of any TV show ever. 6 Feet Under.
Oh,
it was a show.
I was thinking Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad's up. Breaking Bad is definitely either 1 or 2. It's either 6 Feet Under or Breaking Bad. It's one of those.
6 Feet Under, a show that I started and have yet to finish.
You need to finish 6 Feet Under. If you watch, here's what I recommend. If you don't feel like watching the entire series of 6 Feet Under, go ahead and look up the finale. Watch the last 11 minutes of 6 Feet Under. It'll tell you everything you need to know about the show. And how they ended it. It
seems like what I would describe as a bad recommendation.
Right.
Is to watch the end of a show.
Well, no, seriously. I mean, you don't need to watch. If you watch the ending, if you know how the show ends, it makes it all that much better having watched the entire show. But you can really just watch the last 11 minutes
without ruining your experience.
Right, you'll get everything.
Yeah, there's definitely things that are like.
Well, because then there's a freeze frame at the end where it's like, yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here.
Yeah, right. No, 6 Feet Under is actually cited as the pinnacle example of how to end a series.
I love that.
If you don't know.
Nice.
It's actually the best series finale that's ever been recorded on television.
I didn't know people thought that highly of it.
It's considered pretty much the best series finale.
I've heard a lot about it
when
it was still on. I never watched it, but
it's worth a watch. I have all the DVDs. If anybody ever wants to borrow them, they're on HBO Go. Watch them.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd like to rip the DVDs.
This is something that we've talked about in the past with regards to Game of Thrones. Is like, give the viewers the ending. If they figured out the ending, give it to them. Don't try and pull a rabbit out of your asshole. Give it a.
Don't try to R.R. Martin your way out of it.
It's such a perfect ending to really a great perfect show. If you guys don't know anything about 6 Feet Under, it's a show about the Fisher family who runs a funeral home in California. And it's about it's the dad who. Spoiler alert! You're going to find out in the first.
Yeah, no, it's so early.
5 minutes of the show.
Also, the show's pretty old.
Yeah, it's
old enough that come on, we don't
like 90s.
Yeah, it's old enough to drink.
Spoiler alert! We don't need.
The show's old enough to drink.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The spoiler alert: the father, Mr. Fisher, dies in the first 5 minutes of the show. He's the owner of the Fisher and Sons funeral home.
Yeah.
His son David runs the funeral home with him, and then Nate moves back into the family and starts taking up the business.
David played by the guy that played Dexter, whose name escapes me.
Yeah. Fuck, I can't remember his name, but yeah, the guy who played Dexter. But
it's on the tip of my tongue.
Michael C. Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a very great job as David, maybe my favorite character in the show. But it's a family of funeral home owners and attendants, and it's not every episode, but many episodes start with a death. of the funeral.
It's a hallmark
in the funeral.
It's a hallmark of the show. Somebody dies in some interesting way, and then it becomes part of the plot.
And it's them holding the funeral for that family.
Yeah.
You know, I done shoved a Coke bottle up my asshole.
Yeah,
that probably
blew my liver clean out.
There's some that's another cool thing with the show is there's some great deaths. There's some very touching deaths in the show.
Yeah.
There's some very funny deaths in the show. Like there's one my girlfriend's favorite death in the show is one. It's this crazy evangelical woman who's listening to Jesus music in the car. First, it starts with a truckload of blow-up dolls getting delivered to an adult film.
I want all this.
Yeah, there's so this isn't like the second season. There's a truckload of blow-up dolls getting delivered to a porno shoot, and they fly loose and they start flying through the air. And it cuts to this crazy evangelical woman in her car listening to crazy evangelical music, and she sees all these blow-up dolls floating through the air, and she thinks they're angels. And she gets out of the car, falls to her knees in the street, and then gets hit by a bus.
This sounds like an urban legend I read about once, a long time ago on Snopes.
They may have sourced it.
Yeah. About a woman who there's a guy dressed as Jesus on his way to a costume party. He's got blow-up dolls filled with helium for, I don't know, whatever frat boys do, and they all float away, and he's standing on the side of the road going like, come back, and this woman sees him and thinks it's the rapture.
Well, I mean, it's full of like a lot of heartfelt moments like that, and it's a show that can be at times very dark. It's a show at times that can be very funny, and most importantly, it's a show at times that can be very sincere, and it's a show that you're really going to need a box of tissues for, because there's some moments in that show that are so. I'm thinking of a couple.
I've seen a few already.
Yeah, there's a couple that are just like they hit you so hard. Because it's a show ultimately about death and the struggle with death.
And life.
And life.
It's the whole gamut,
And like, in particular, without spoiling anything, the last 4 episodes of the show, if you don't crack a tear I
cry at the drop.
Oh my god! I mean, it's so. I'm getting choked up thinking about it. It's so. There's so many moments in that show that'll just make you weep openly.
Yeah.
That are like just incredible, and it's so worth a watch. Like, if you can take just certain, it's an Alan Ball show.
Yeah.
So Alan Ball did American Beauty as well, which is another one of my favorite movies. I don't care how pretentious it is. 6 Feet Under at times can be a little pretentious, but I don't care because it has so much heart. And like, as this recommendation comes down, I'm gonna leave you with one scene from the show to kind of get you into it. There's a scene that happens in the second season. They have one employee at the funeral home. His name's Rico, and he's the guy who takes care of the bodies. He like does the makeup for the bodies and fixes like any damage or anything. There's a scene in this. There's an episode in the second season of the show that kind of tells you how Rico got into that job, because he's just this kid. And another important thing to note is anytime the father comes back in flashbacks and he shows up and talks to the family, kind of like as something like a mental projection of theirs, like giving them advice and stuff. And anytime the father comes back, it's always something very important. It's always something that gets to your heart.
Yeah.
And
I love the flashbacks with the dad. Actually,
with the dad,
it's funny because as a dead character, he's been in like almost every episode that I've seen.
Right, he's so
important.
Well, and as the show goes on, you see him less and less, and then when he does come back, it's so important.
Oh my god!
And it like there's this in the second season. There's an episode where they explain how Rico became an employee in the show. And it's him having a flash. It's him like reconstructing this body that's really badly damaged, and he has a flashback while he's looking in on the funeral of Nate Sr. sitting down with him and his mother when his father died.
Oh no!
And it's like this scene where they're talking to him, telling him what happened. He was a roofer, and he fell off the roof, and he fell, and he hit his face on like a pallet full of roofing materials, and he crushed his face, like he's dying.
Yeah,
and they're in tears and they're sobbing. And like later, I'm sorry, this is really getting.
I was gonna say
this is really getting to me.
I'm starting to see where this might go, though.
There's a scene later in the show where he he's like, don't worry, I'll fix him. And there's a scene later in the show where they get to view the body before the funeral for the first time.
Yeah.
And he opens up the door and he I'm sorry.
I can hear you fucking choking up.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you big baby.
No, I'm crying too.
He opens the door.
Don't tease him.
And he reconstructed his father's face, and they both walk in and they're like in awe, and they look back at Nate Sr. and he's just standing back by the door, and he gives this soft little smile. And then at the end of the episode, he Rico's 18, he skateboards over, and he's like, if you ever need any help around here, let me know. And he's like, yeah, I will. And that's part of the lore of the show, is that Nate Sr. paid for this kid to go to mortuary school and gave him a job. And and it's that is the scene. If I can leave you with one piece of information about the show, if that's not enough to get you choked up, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's such a show with so much heart. And I have one line that I want to leave everybody with. Yeah. It's my favorite line in the show. It happens later on. And if you ever get through the entire thing and you watch it, you're going to know what I'm talking about. It's, I'm sorry, we never met. My name's Nathaniel. And once you know what that's about, it's going to get you so hard.
Am I going to cry like a baby?
You're going to cry like a baby. It's my favorite. It's my favorite line in the show, and it gets me every time I hear it. So I'm gonna. It's a recommendation that I've been thinking about for a while because I want to go back through and watch it. It's my favorite television show ever. It's very powerful.
Nice,
and it will make you cry.
Yeah, it sounds great.
It will make you cry. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Second recommendation. I'm going to continue. I have another album. I'm going to make this one a little quicker so we can move on. It's the third album by the Beastie Boys called Ill Communication. My favorite,
fucking awesome album.
Fucking awesome album. My favorite Beastie Boys album. It came out after Paul's Boutique, which is a whole other recommendation in itself that
I think you might have talked about Paul's Boutique before.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. It was Beastie Boys. If you're a big fan of the Beastie Boys, the first album was kind of shunned as stupid frat boy, white boy hip hop, and they never thought they'd be able to follow it up. They followed up with one of the best rap albums ever made called Paul's Boutique, which was their second album. 99% of the album is entirely sampled music. So the whole record is sampled, which is crazy, and it's done very well. The third album is Ill Communication, and it's super sonic and spacey, and it's got a real weird... It's kind of like an EDM hip hop feel to it. And
it's throughout the whole thing. It's got a consistent flow. to it.
It's real spacey,
just like you said, an EDM mix,
right? Yeah. And it's a weird mix. If you're a hip hop fan, you'll like it. If you're a punk fan, you'll like it. Yeah. If you're a house music fan, you'll like it. Right. So it's a really good hip hop album to get into. I recommend that.
It's crazy good.
It's crazy good. It's a really good album. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my god. That's the funky shit.
That's the funky shit. If it's going to be that kind of party, I would have stuck my dick in the mashed potatoes.
Who hasn't been there?
Yeah. Go on. All right, let's get away from me before I start getting weepy again.
So, first of all, I have 3 quickies here. First one, follow up to the cigar contest here.
Yeah.
Cheapy cigar versus expensive cigar.
Yes.
In this case, $11 cigar beat out $2 cigar by a long shot.
What a shock.
And what is that $2 cigar called?
This is the $2 cigar by the maker Elephant Butts.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's on the fucking wrap.
No, I was going to say, where'd you put the wrapper?
It's on the wrap.
I will attest to that.
There's Elephant Butts. This is a nice little Maduro Elephant Butts cigar.
It's like
look on your face.
It's like making a fucking energy drink and calling it
demon piss.
Or like
jizzy drip,
baboon testicles,
fart sauce.
Literally a can full of human semen.
Human semen.
Human semen, not some other weird animal semen.
Important, yeah.
Yeah, that's an important distinction.
You're not going to get mad cow disease from drinking human semen.
I don't want to go so far.
As far as I know. I'm not a doctor.
Not a bad smoke.
This was not a bad smoke.
Yeah.
Okay. $2? For $2, it far exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, good.
Oh, well, that's
that
good.
goes back to what we were talking
I'm
about
glad
before.
it wasn't shitty.
Right.
What if I told
It's
you
not
it
bad.
was literally just grass clippings in there?
I would say I'll smoke more grass clippings in the future for $2.
You don't have to spend
Yeah.
a lot of money to get a decent smoke.
Yeah,
I mean, you really
it's,
don't.
It's not bad. It came pre-punched, which I found interesting.
Sure.
Like I said, $2. I would rather smoke the My Father 1922,
Sure.
21, whatever.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah, but this was not bad for $2.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
Okay.
recommendation: if you got $2 and you want a cigar, elephant butts ain't that bad.
Alright.
Just manage your expectations. Point number 2. Quick follow-up.
Yeah.
When we had Pat Stoldry on, he made a great recommendation.
Oh, yeah.
A game called, I believe it's The Neverhood. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the name, but I played probably about an hour and a half of this game. It is so incredibly cool.
Yeah.
It is so much fun. It's actually available, like he said, for free because it's abandonware now. So you can download the whole game, and it was designed for Windows 95. You can run it right from like Windows 7,
Sure.
possibly Windows 10. I played about an hour and a half of this game, and it's really a lot of fun. Point and click style adventure, like he said. The entire game sculpted out of clay, painstakingly by must have been
That's
dozens of people.
Wow.
The entire game made out of clay. I think he probably mentioned this, but
Yeah,
it just
he did.
To see it and to play it is so astonishing.
This is really is something about older games, isn't it? Like there was more imagination, there was more art
Yes,
to these
sure.
old.
I think there was less mechanics.
Sure.
So you had to have
be
some kind of
clever,
hook.
Good point.
Yeah.
Very good point. Yeah.
I kind of feel like what happened to the movie industry happened to the game industry, which is that
Yeah.
if it gets big enough, it becomes risk averse.
You put explosions and Kit Harington in it, and it sells.
Right.
Yeah,
so-
or Avengers. Like I absolutely love Marvel. Marvel girl over DC.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're starting to get formulaic, and I'll
Yeah.
still see them, and I'll absolutely love them. But yeah,
These
it's
industries are now run by suits and not creatives.
Sure.
Yes.
They know what's safe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they know it will
it's
sell.
It's safe. It's
The-
always safe.
The Neverhood probably wouldn't be made now.
No.
It's
Psychonauts wouldn't be made now.
Yeah, I mean, studios finance things that replicate things that have already succeeded. So
Right.
this is a real, very different kind of experience to play it. It's got a lot of lore. I didn't realize this. In the game, there's sort of like a Hall of Records style building,
Okay.
and in order to read the lore of the place you're in, you have to walk step for step down this hall and click the individual
Oh
sort of
God,
scrolls
I
on
love
the wall.
lore. I would
So
do
cool.
it.
Yeah,
I would
that.
absolutely
I'm a
do
lore
that.
freak.
Oh my,
Admittedly.
I am
Talking
too.
to a bunch of Elder Scrolls fans.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah,
We're into
absolutely.
it.
I've
You're
read
talking to a
every-
World of Warcraft, a
every
veteran World
fucking
of Warcraft
book, yeah.
player here.
So I went 7 hallways in, 7 screen transitions in,
Yeah.
Oh,
reading
shit.
each of the 6 scrolls on the wall, and I hit another chapter, and I went, okay, I gotta go to bed. But I played a lot of it. I got to several different places. It's a lot of fun. It's I've never seen anything like it. Super recommend this game. And again, you can legally download it for free. So,
Sure.
Pat,
Yeah.
if you're listening, you were 100% right. That game is so much fucking fun.
Let me follow up too, because he recommended an EP by a band called Landlady. Called
Yes.
The
Yeah,
Heat.
yeah, yeah,
Called
yeah.
Heat.
So good.
Super fucking good, man. That album is awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, both recommendations on point.
That was on point.
That was on point. That was seriously on point with the
Yeah.
tracks.
Well, now I feel like I need to go do those two.
Yeah,
things.
do
Yeah,
it.
they're really
Do
good.
it.
Play that game. Listen to that.
Listen to our recommendations.
Yeah, I mean I do, but do I go do it? Not always, but I
Why the hell not?
But I
has the time?
appreciate.
Who has the time to do
I-
every
I-
single
I
one
do.
of these?
I fucking do.
Well,
I'm jobless right now. I have the fucking time.
it's a lot of investment, I will say that. Third point, and I'll keep this one quick, but it's my actual recommendation. The Everything Everything album Fever Dream came out very recently. I was super stoked to get my copy in the mail because I ordered the vinyl LP on a pre-sale.
Yeah.
And they signed, all 4 members of the band signed
Nice.
it. And I haven't taken it out of the plastic yet because I'm such a dork. I think I might just leave it
don't-
there.
Oh no! Don't do it.
Don't
Yeah.
do it.
No, I don't. No, I don't blame you.
I will say about this album that I was expecting and hoping for it to be a lot more like the previous album. It's not. It's very different. It's a lot spacier. It's a lot more open. It relies on sort of soundscapes.
Yeah.
And
I dig that kind of stuff, though.
Yeah, it's cool. It's not exactly as punchy and I would even say hooky as the album before it, but there's moments on it that are so completely sublime to listen to.
I don't practice it to real.
Like that.
Yeah. It's just Sublime. They have Sublime just play.
It's the whole album is just 40 Ounces to Freedom.
Yeah.
There's the title track, A Fever Dream, relies on a very interesting rhythmic sort of trick. It's like a 3 against 4 kind of thing. So if you like, it's 4/4 timing, but it has this cool 1 2 3 1 2 3 happening over it, and it kind of blends in over the course of the track. So, but from the time you start listening to the time you end listening, your perception of the rhythm or the meter of the song changes.
I'd have to hear it.
It's hard to explain
understand
in
it.
words.
Yeah.
But
I get what you're saying technically, but I'd have to hear it to really understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
you did let me listen to some of their at least one of their songs, and I did enjoy it. It was very different, I will say that.
They are very different.
But I enjoyed it. It was very fun to listen to, and it's definitely not everyone's cup of tea. But I would still say give it a listen for sure.
Basically, the gist of that track is that it starts off 1 2 3 4, and by the end it's 1 2 3 1 2 3, and the transition is so smooth you almost don't notice until.
Okay, so it's almost like an 8/12 time signature song where it's like da 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 da.
You can think of it that way.
But it slows down. It stretches out over the course of it and makes it sound like a 3/4 time song.
Like not exactly, but basically it's a similar idea. You'll know to hear it, but
Sure.
I highly recommend this album for a lot of reasons. Not the least of which is just that it's something different from what they did before, but with enough of what I think they're really good at that it sustains the album. It took a minute to grow on me. You know, I don't want to gloss over that.
No, that's okay.
At first I wasn't a big fan, but
there's nothing wrong with that. Fall Out Boy's new stuff, it took a while to grow on me.
I keep telling Aubrey,
nothing wrong with
a
that.
good band should adapt their sound over time. Pink Floyd does it. I love all of Pink Floyd's albums, even the the less than stellar ones.
An example of this is, in fact, that the band kind of like 2 years ago was making fun of other bands and saying, well, who says we can't be political or talk about world events or whatever? I'm tired of listening to bands talk about lovey-dovey bullshit or like their personal feelings. I'm tired. I want to talk about something real. Well, this album comes around and a lot of it's very personal, and they were like, yeah, okay, we maybe we fucked up because maybe we want to talk about this now. So they're a band that's willing to adapt, and I think any decent band does and should.
You can't dictate music by a business plan. You can't do like a fucking 4-year forecast for what you want to do.
No, music constantly changes, and you have to.
Because
you gotta do what you want to do. You can keep up with the times and also put out something that is important to you.
Do the thing you want.
Oh my god.
It's the whim of a creator changes, and what they end up making shouldn't surprise you. It should take you along with them.
I agree.
You okay?
And not just because I'm coughing right now and can't say anything else. But I agree with that. So anyway, I want to back off on that.
Oh no.
Do you have some recommendations?
I do. I have one recommendation, short, sweet. It is bringing it back around to Slam. It is also a game. It is just a classic of recent years, a masterpiece of its time.
I like masterpieces.
Number one game, 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It will be a classic.
Are you talking about Skyrim?
I am talking about The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Yes!
It really is, in many ways, the quintessential fantasy RPG for the modern age.
It is.
It doesn't.
Now let's date ourselves and say it will never get better than this.
Yeah.
And then look back in 10 years and laugh.
No, say it'll never get. But you say that. But it's coming out in VR.
Yeah.
For PSVR.
It's gonna get even better.
Yeah.
It's gonna get even better.
It's because Todd Howard likes money.
But there's still a hype around PlayStation. I played it today.
What the
I'm just gonna go.
shit?
What the fuck, Boba? That's all right.
Sounded like you got shot.
Should I stop?
No, you're fine. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
We ignore it.
No, that's fine. It was I played it today for just a short period. It's still trending on like PlayStation.
Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
It's something that people will continually make mods for it. They still do. There are thousands upon thousands of mods for it. It's just something that I will never get tired of. If I had to pick one game to play the rest of my life, it would be Elder Scrolls Skyrim. I've put, and this is almost embarrassing, but you know what? I'm a gamer. I don't care. I've put over 1,000 hours into that game. Just on the Xbox 360, not counting the PlayStation 4.
Just on the character creator.
I'm not even going to try it. There's a function that shows you how much time you've spent total across all your characters in World of Warcraft. I'm not even going to try to look at that. I'm sure it's over 1,000 hours.
Yeah, this is exactly because it only tells you, when you have your saves, it tells you how long you've been playing.
Right.
I've had just on the Xbox 360 7 different characters added up the time. It's over 1,000 hours.
How many of those were archers?
Look, he judged me.
That's right. You always go archer, right? That's what I'm saying.
Probably about 4 of them were archers. I'm always an archer. I'm always a thief.
She has a crush on Brynjolf.
Yeah.
No, I have a crush on Farkas because he's a lovable dummy.
That's Cicero.
Cicero. My recent playthrough murdered because he's a fuck.
Cicero.
Fuck boy.
He's a fucking annoying
He's a
piece
fuck
of
boy.
shit. But yeah, it's a game that will just live on. As like I said, I'm not just saying that. It was re-released for in the special editions.
Yeah.
It's re-released in 4K. It's re-released in VR, and it's going to continue to be
such a good game.
It is an excellent game.
Skyrim is remarkable to me because it takes like kind of a classic format of here's a world where you can do anything, but you're highly encouraged to save the world, so get to it.
Yeah, you could save the world, but you could also be the deadliest assassin.
You could also
in Tamriel.
steal everyone's shit.
Yeah,
you could also
make over
throw
$1 million
cabbages at elves.
Over $1 million gold by stealing and selling things and never spending your money like I did with my main character on my 360.
The amount of time it takes her to get to $1 million gold is obscene.
Yeah.
But
I am a thief through and through. Oh wait, we just talked about crime. Oh shit.
But
No, I take it all back. Only in Skyrim. Only in Skyrim am I.
Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence.
Let me guess. Somebody stole your sweet roll.
Your stolen goods are now forfeit. But no, what's great about it is it has everything you would want out of an open world RPG. It has everything you could want out of an open world RPG, almost everything you could want, without the grind.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing.
One thing, if you want, there's one unmarked quest at level 82. It is the very last quest. Mm-hmm.
I've heard of this.
Yes.
I have never gotten there.
It is the Black Knight.
The Black Knight.
I only got there by cheating because there is if you can.
Please, African American Knight.
Oh my God!
Seek the Black Knight. Traveler, and then like left and right over the shoulder. Do you seek the Black Knight?
If you've ever played Skyrim, if you haven't played Skyrim, if you can't get to level 82. Which I played, like I said, for the amount of hours I played, because I never used magic, I'm not a magic user, I couldn't get those leveled up. And eventually, you do run out of quests. And you're doing the same fetch quests over, you don't get a lot of XP. So I used the Ogma Infinium quest cheat, which, if I wouldn't say do it first. Play through first, enjoy it. Be a good person, play through.
Then fuck everything up.
Then if you can't get to level 82... So anyway, you meet him. It's somewhere north or southeast of Windhelm. You meet the Black Knight. Why are you looking at?
No, I'm like you.
Like how you know this shit off the top of your head?
Because I had.
You constantly are like, look at you, Mr. Autism, being like pulling shit off the top of your head.
Because he does.
It's true.
And then like you with Skyrim, it's
Okay, but look.
who's the autist now?
For the autist.
Mr. Autism.
Okay.
Just hands over the head. Oh, Mr. Autism. I know things about things, Mr. Autism.
I rock back and forth.
Please,
I'm Mr. Autism. Leave me alone.
Okay. Look,
please don't touch my face.
if you don't know, look, please don't judge us. Slam is just a bit autistic, and for
Just a little bit.
For real, don't judge that they're making fun. He's allowed.
I'm allowed.
It's like when black people say the N-word.
Yeah.
He's allowed to make fun. But
I'm good. I'm good.
When
I'm
I first started playing.
Pokemon cards.
I'm sorry. Mr. Autism is taking a sidebar to this conversation. We need to let that shit go and get back to the
Southeast of Windhelm.
Southeast of Windhelm. And the reason I know that is because I had a map that came with the game. I had it hanging on my wall. And once the DLCs came out, I marked all the new locations. I memorized locations for stuff. Because I'm weird like that. I don't have autism. I have a lot of other mental disorders. But one of the things I can do is memorize odd numbers. and odd things like that. But anyway, the point is...
Baby.
All you do...
Are you sure you don't have a little bit of autism in you?
I'm sure. I've been tested.
Do you want some?
Don't even dare.
Anyway, back to... The point is, it's the very...
Let's settle all together here.
Yeah. It's the very last quest you can get in the game. It's unmarked. You have to find him yourself. Just Google it, because I had to, because I wasn't sure, I'll be honest. And you fight him. That's just the last... Oh my fucking god.
I mean, when you encounter the
Black Knight. Sorry. The African American Knight. He's the last quest in the game.
I think you mean the Red Guard.
The Red Guard.
Oh my god, stop it. But you have to be level 82, and that was my point.
Yeah.
All right.
My point was that's the only time, I ever cheated, because there will be a point if you don't use every attribute, like magic, you will have to grind. Mm-hmm. But other than that, you don't. Like, if you want to be, like, I'm level, right now in my game, on my PS4, I'm level 52, but I have level 100 alchemy, archery, level 100 sneak, level 125 speech, because that's what I work on. So,
Did you you can prestige those skills, right? Like
you can turn them legendary. You get all your perks back.
Can you really?
Yes,
Yeah.
It's something they added with one of the DLCs, and that was one of the things that you could help. Like, if you got stuck and you were grinding.
But when you say level 125, you mean like with additional enhancements?
Yes.
Like
I have an
gear
amulet of Debella.
Okay.
Which increases your speechcraft,
Right.
and a couple other things.
As everyone knows.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure. Because of course they do. Because this is the game of the year for the rest of time.
Yeah, and it will never get old.
No, it will never get old. But there really isn't a lot of grinding if you even out your skills and stuff like that. It's an amazing game, and I will recommend it for the rest of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so with this.
Yeah,
That's a great recommendation.
I haven't gotten back into my character in a while, and now I kind of want to.
Swaggo the Fabulous.
Swaggo the Fabulous, the dark elf duelist. I got like a swordsman, like duelist sort of thing. He's got like dual swords going on. Swaggo the Fabulous.
When I renamed my character, when I bought the Legendary Edition, when I bought it for the Xbox One, I renamed him Not Jon Snow. So I am totally not Jon Snow in my character.
Copyrights.
Well,
I
believe we're at 2.5 hours already.
You're gonna have to cut out a lot of my bullshit.
No, we're cutting nothing.
You're cutting nothing. This itself may be a crime, but it's a crime we are going to get away with.
Yes.
Because we are the three dudes in one dudette.
And there's so much for being on the show tonight.
Yeah,
by the way.
thank you.
What a great
Thank you
fucking
for having
time.
My girlfriend.
Super fan.
My boyfriend.
My girlfriend.
Alrighty.
Mr. Autism. I'm sorry.
It's so funny. I'm Mr. Autism. I know things about bugs. I'm Mr. Autism. I don't know.
I don't know. This is
I like when things spin.
I'm Mr. Autism.
This is your domain
Mr.
slam.
Autism.
You do this.
And don't look me in the eye.
I'm good at solving crimes.
Third grade crimes.
This is the dumbest joke.
Sherlock Holmes crimes. You can't tell me that Sherlock Holmes was not autistic.
Oh no, he absolutely.
Sherlock
he
Holmes.
was definitely autistic.
He was
and definitely a sociopath.
1,000% autistic.
Okay,
Absolutely. Okay, sorry.
God, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, this just got really wacky here at the end. I am really sorry to anyone listening because this is just fucking insane.
We'll catch y'all next time.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta do what we learned.
What did we learn?
Yeah, real quick.
What did we learn?
Okay. It's all about baloney, nigga.
Yeah. CSI is spoopy.
Fox News is for gullible people.
Crime is just a natural part of puberty.
Number 3 is when you shit baloney on.
Yes, I wrote that too.
Yeah.
Number 3 is baloney. Doctor Who has 2 hearts apparently.
Stealing is fine if it was 6 years ago, and murder if 20.
Yes.
Dave brought back around Scruff McGruff, which actually has to do with our topic of the day, crime.
Yeah. Bank tellers are robots.
And 28 Stitches got text for the bitches to get them riches.
Take the bread. Leave the cannoli.
You got goofed on.
I'm more trash than I've been in quite a few years.
Woo!
Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer.
If your fandom makes you want to threaten people, take a hot second.
Yeah.
And finally, come on the show.
Yeah, and one more. If you puke, it's your responsibility to eat all of it.
And that's our show. Yeah.
Good show. Good show.
Thank you. Tune in next week where we will have nobody, presumably, and we'll be back to normal. And then tune in after that where
Drog will be our host.
we might have a very special episode.
Or we might just have a very special
might
episode.
have
We might just have a very special
Are we going to be sucking and dicking?
Yeah. Sucking?
Dickin'.
Yeah. Tune in next time, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
listening.
you.
That's the stuff.